All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Imris Saga Advent of Calamity. This is the fourth of our mini campaigns here. Part two, the final part of the Ice mini campaign. I'm joined once again by our lovely cast. We've got Jack, Charlie, who is currently invisible but here, David, and Kristen, all reprising their characters from last week. Um, Quick recap. At the start of last session, you guys fought some undead ice giants that had been summoned, seemingly, by this dragonrider, this horned, large figure who had flown overhead while you guys were journeying. After the battle wrapped up, we kind of zoomed back, rolled back in time to you guys arriving in the Ilharkathax wastes at a Gathite village where you talked to some of the people, asked the elders if what help they could lend you, if any. You were directed towards Wendan, a hunter in the area, whose companion friend Tarmon had recently gone missing, but had kind of gone wandering in the direction that you guys were going alone. And there was some suspicion on the part of members of the group that they might be working with the demons. That's essentially where we ended after the elder gave you guys some more information. And we had Felipe do a legend lore on the name of the ice dragon. Also, how's everyone doing? I haven't asked that yet. Yeah. Okay. So you had cast Legend Lore, spending some time before you had left to give a brief summary about significant lore for this creature. The words that come into your mind are kind of sudden. It's almost like flashes of knowledge just appear to you as you finish casting the divination of the spell. You hear in your mind's eye Ilharkathax, the dragon of ice, dragon of death, dragon of the cold. Long ago did battle with the gods amidst his kin, and afterwards these northern lands became his. He was trapped forever underneath the vast ice that he once called home. If you have any more specific questions about him, you may ask. I decided not to write quite as much as I was thinking. I wanted you to kind of guide the information that you wanted a little bit. Okay. Good question. So I think in as this information is coming to you, as you're kind of seeking for specific aspects of it, you see flashes of these five dragons arrayed against the gods, all of the gods. From the flashes of legend lore that you can see, it seems that these creatures are sort of a third party in a kind of almost uh, celestial triumvirate, we'll say, between the pantheon that is commonly worshipped, the dark gods, who Salael is amongst, and then these dragons kind of made up this third aspect. Um, so you're not sure what about that has changed from here to now, that the dragons and the demons seem to be trying to get the dragons help. Um, I think I'll say with Felipe's intelligence, possibly because it seems like at this point in time, uh, the, the gods of the heavens have or de facto have won. Uh, you know, maybe they're trying to use that to create an alliance here. That's kind of where your mind's percolating in that direction. Yeah. This is like prehistory, so at least several thousand years prior. This is even before uh, there's kind of three bands of time. There's the creation and prehistory of Imris, uh, which kind of uh, ends with the gods initially all doing battle, and then separating themselves from the world, either forcibly in the case of the dark gods, uh, or by choice in the case of the pantheon that you all worship. Then there's a period that is usually called the Age of Legends or the Age of Myth, which is kind of like this growing civilization. This is when the high elves were at their height, the Istarelf. They had lots of power and spread over the world. And then somewhere towards the end of this, the demons start to happen. Salael starts to show themselves a little bit. The elven empires are destroyed and kind of fall into ruin. Um, some of them flee. Some of them their lifestyles change completely, and they start to split into the Gathite, the Elkar, the Istarelf, the Lan Elf, all these different kinds of elfkin. This is around the time that humans start to be a bigger player in things as well. And so, right around this time is when the Romnian Empire is really rising up into power. At the very end of this is when the Blight happens, and then the present day era is now what we're in. Like big, really big overview history lesson. Yeah, yeah. Salael seems to have kind of at least uh, since maybe there might be a root to it. That's something that you'd have to ask them to know for certain. But maybe in the root of this initial dragon conflict, Salael seems to have had an interest in trying to use dragons to accomplish their goal, or seize the power in dragons, and kind of wants to take that and alter it for their own purposes. That's something that probably you scholars have mentioned at times. I think you get a maybe slightly cryptic message out of this. Um, that Ilharkathax wanted only the frozen throne. What that means exactly, I think it's to interpret. Big is it? Icebergs pale in size compared to this great beast.
Have your own redemption, but I don't have the energy to unpackage that with you.
Maybe now that you think you'll be redeemed, your death won't cause that, and you will not die in that moment.
Because it sounds like you're doing something for selfish purposes, not out of a sense of duty. I feel like I'm starting to sound like my grandma, and I don't care for that.
Ilya just sits back and sees how long this play-by-play can continue after they got it going.
That's it. I think one person's legend loring, and the other two have decided they've said their piece of it.
So at probably at the end of this, you've gotten all this information, Felipe, and the legend lore.
Yeah. I think that Felipe is not much of a conduit usually. He's not a believer. He's not a religious type, but he just becomes a conduit for the arcane at this point. And like a function spitting out a result, he just rattles all of this off in a monotone voice, and his eyes sort of glaze over as he does it, and then he just blinks out of it. And all the information I share with you guys. Yeah.
It's fascinating. And I think Henthir is as fascinated with having watched somebody cast Legend Lore as anything else. That's a very niche spell that even he has probably never seen. He says, well, I think now that we know that all it is after is some kind of frozen throne, we could make an argument that were it to get free, it is not necessarily definitely going to be a problem for the entire world. If one wanted to make that argument. Henthir looks at Rudy.
I think
Just
as a last
plan, that is all.
I think as a last resort, because some dragons can't be bargained with, this thing's been asleep for 10,000 plus years. If we convince it, if push comes to shove, that if Salael or whichever dark god gets their hands on it and raises it for their own purposes, they're not going to get their frozen throne. They're going to be a puppet on somebody else's strings. And I don't think anybody who's called the Frozen Death wants to be a puppet on strings. So, last resort bit of ammunition right there.
I think there might be something to say also, though, of like this ice throne sounds like it's a problem in and of itself. Why do we use that as a bargaining chip?
Yeah, Frozen Throne could be anything. It could be a whole continent. It could just mean that this is its dominion and it wants to keep it.
Did we talk to people from the water campaign between this? Did we get in touch with someone from that?
I think I did say that you had talked to Ty/Morgan because it was up in the air who Kristen was playing, so I just left that as a thing. And that
Because
Anya had talked to them as well.
certainly at the end of that, so if we have collective information about what happened at the end of that, and Morgan is generally probably Morgan with Ty, you get unbiased information versus maybe Morgan alone. But definitely Yandarkle wanted dominion over all the sea. I think Henthir probably will suggest it's potentially the Frozen Throne is dominion over all things ice and cold, right?
Ice and cold mean two different things. Is it just
Just
ice?
like if you're a dragon, you can be picky about it. You don't have to be picky about it.
And this gets into whole sorts of arcane philosophy. Like, does that mean that every time a druid wants to throw an ice knife at somebody, they gotta ask Artificer, I can't pronounce it. I'm so sorry. Ilharkathax for permission? Does this just mean that they get to keep their big ice continent in the north? It could mean a whole bunch of things. Either way, I'm cool with them keeping their frozen throne as long as they stay imprisoned in a glacier somewhere tens of thousands of leagues away from civilization.
So, plan 1, save the world from the cult. Plan 2, talk to the dragon. Plan 3, save the world from the dragon.
Sounds like you have your hands full.
Fully forgot that you were here.
Is that
Ideally.
Wenden or
That is Wenden.
That is Wenden. Okay.
Who
Ideally, we
was supposed to be
stop
guiding
it.
you, and now is just kind of waiting while this happens.
Well,
He's just like
Wenden,
standing in the background, like, arms crossed.
Well, I think that gives you a better picture than anything else we could be doing right now. So, if you still agree to guide us, knowing what we're about to walk into, we would greatly appreciate your support.
I have agreed to do this thing, and such dangers are out there that Garmon should be called back to the village. He may not like it. Plus, I still need to prove to this one he's not in league with demons, as you say.
Ilya just nods very sternly. If you don't show us to him, how will you know?
Let us off. And he is going to start, like, trudging into the snow.
Henthir's bones physically like crack and creak as he stands up. But he will follow very quickly after.
Do you want me to carry you? Would that be helpful? We used to do that for my peepaw when he couldn't walk up the stairs anymore.
Henthir like just raises a really arch eyebrow at you. I will be fine on my own feet as I have been for my whole life.
Perfect.
You should learn to not mistake lack of wanting to expend energy with lack of having energy.
Henthir, you do say that we must accept the help that is offered to us.
Hold on, I'm gonna look at what spells I have to cast on Ilya. Give me 1 second. It's Toll the Dead. No. I think Henthir, who does like have a cane, like just lashes out very quickly and like tries to tap you with the cane. Canes are not finesse weapons, so it's like a -3 or something. But like, ugh. No, I'll be fine. And I suppose to assuage mainly Rudy's actual concern and Ilya's bratty concern, Henthir will stop playing quite the old man and will straighten up a bit and like put his cane away. Oh, he'll actually say, "Well, you can carry this," and throw the cane at Rudy.
You have to kind of, as this conversation is happening, you're being a little bit slow, so you have to kind of all you jog slightly to catch up to Wendan, who is just like.
I have a speed of 45 feet, so I'd like to stroll casually to catch up.
Sure. You still have to move more quickly than slow walking speed.
But yeah, I think once Henthir is not like hunched and like saving energy, he also draws a scimitar because he's unused to not having something in his hand. So
the metal is cold and gleams in the snowy light.
For flavor, Felipe is gonna tactfully, throughout this entire journey, just plug Henthir for as much history and lore as he can, and do it as like tactfully and respectfully as possible. Because mad respect and absolutely fascinated by this 1,000-year-old figure. Like this is Felipe's dream come true, a primary source document from all the history he spent his life obsessed with. So it's just like
Henthir will happily tell you, like, answer stories. He'll like think of the way that you're asking not as wanting to hear stories, but wanting to hear history. So he'll answer it if he was there, or if he was like do what he was doing at the time and stuff, to try and fill in your like history as much as possible.
And you could like give me Elcar breakfast recipes from 800 years ago, and Felipe would be fascinated by them.
He's a high elf, but he probably does have some Elcar recipes because they're more common. But yeah, he'll happily just answer any question you have about the last 800-ish years of history.
And Rudy, I will take you up on that carry. I can do some homework if I'm riding on your shoulder, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
All right, sounds good.
Pops up on the Garrik's back. I also have to say that all Garriks will be Southern now.
I did it.
It's every player's dream.
Okay.
I'm picturing a Garrik carrying another Garrik on their back up the stairs. It's a real good sight.
It's Garrik's all the way down.
You guys press trudging onwards into the snow, heading north, following Wendan's footsteps as he like shovels snow aside and various things. It's fairly quick going as you're going across the kind of tundra plains of snow. Occasionally, Wendan will point out different signs of different fauna that have passed through recently. Just kind of idly, like he's not like he's a tour guide, but like he's instructing a new hunter of some kind. And he does help you just for the sake of speed and time avoid some of these creatures. You see in the distance strange monstrosities, which some of you might know to be remorazes, kind of having what seems to be a fight over a mate of some kind. A large, giant, pure white bears, both the polar and the owl variety, trudging across the snow, sometimes with young, sometimes alone. Various other animals and monsters that you buy. Eventually, though, you do have to bed down for the night. It's the stars are very bright and clear above you so far here in the north, where the air is really cold, and auroras gleam as you sleep. And you can see this light show above you, which for many of you is probably the first time experiencing such things. Though certainly not Henthir, of course.
Every night as we journey, I will cast Liamin's tiny hut for us to sleep under, and also put an alarm spell around the exterior of it.
You continue much like this for the next couple days. On the third day is when Dan will call all of you over a little bit to where he's standing. He's kind of like scouted a hat slightly. Tarmon's footprint and other creatures he seems to have been following.
Can I make either an insight or a survival check to discern whether these footprints are the things he's following first and then him, or kind of left all at the same time?
You can certainly make a survival check.
Or... I ask because it's the same roll. So.
Yeah. You can make an insight check on Windan.
Sure.
So yeah, it from what you can tell, there's like a set. It hasn't snowed here in a couple days, and that's probably why like this is the first tracks that you've seen. It does seem like there are some footprints of a quite large creature that are kind of more like hooved, but they are whatever kind of creature it is. It's bipedal. You can just tell by the gait and everything like that. And then on top of that, you can see Windan's footprints. It seems like Windan seems to have kind of avoided them a little bit. Or not Windan, sorry. Tarmon seems to have avoided them a little bit. But you can see spots where the boots that he was wearing are on top of these hoof prints. So it seems like he passed through here after. With a 21, you're not sure how long after, and probably Windan isn't either. There's probably not really a good way to tell that at this point in time. But you know that the hoof prints came first and then Tarmon passed through. It could have been immediately after, it could have been the next day.
Since that kind of works with everything that he was saying, I will not add anything.
Okay. I think we're getting close. These can't be more than a day old or so. Have your steel ready.
Okay.
Sorry, what was that?
I said we better get trucking, but that doesn't make sense. What's a truck?
We better get wagoning.
What?
When
I
he
will-
says to have your steel ready or whatever he said, and they forced a second scimitar.
What were you gonna say, Ilya?
Oh, I was just gonna say it was unimportant, but truck has been used for a very long time.
There you go.
But Ilya probably is, as they get closer, keeping an eye out on Windan because he had seemed so irritated before with his companion, and yet he's so staunch that he hasn't done anything wrong. So
Okay.
Ilya's making intermittent insight checks.
Sure. Why don't you roll down? I think I had you make one earlier, but you've been traveling with him for a few days now. 18.
Ilya has no insight, but has an interest in this particular situation.
You're being very persistently focused on like how he's reacting to certain things. I kind of want messages to you privately.
Do
Oh
that.
yeah,
Okay, I'm
I
gonna do
love
that.
secrets.
I'll do it on
Love to
Discord.
That's good because I do that a lot when I'm GMing, so the stream will have to get used to this.
Yeah, that's true. I don't do it very often, but
delicious.
Yeah, and I've never played a character that is usually like doing this kind of.
The worst thing is that Ilya's the only character I've ever seen you play that wouldn't share pertinent information, like just to prove a point.
Yep, it's true.
okay, I have messaged you.
I have read it, and I will say that, yeah, Ilya is keeping like an even closer eye on Wenden, but doesn't bring anything up. They're just like following quietly behind Henthir, and just studying those prints kind of idly.
You all, I think, move a little bit more quickly, or at least Wendan is kind of like, before you were kind of like trekking, marching. Now Wendan is like at, kind of a light jog pretty much the whole way. So you guys are all having to pick up the pace a little bit as well. Although it's easy enough for all of you being experienced adventurers, but you are traveling swiftly now. You cover a lot of ground on this day. You pass by mountains off to the right in the distance, like fully snow-capped. You go through gorges, ravines of various different kinds. You pass by rocky plateaus as you're just like chewing up the landscape. Wendan pushes you guys hard. You bed down once more for the night, as Wendan says, if the tracks hold true, we'll be on Armon sometime in the morning.
Have you ever been this far away from the village?
Yeah, thanks for on occasion. My tribe does not travel this far north very often. We stick closer to the coasts than some of the other tribes. Some of us are seafarers and have ships of our own who do trade in the seas.
How are you doing?
Yeah, it's a good question. How are you doing?
Like is taken slightly aback by this. I am nervous, filled with anticipation. We will say. Why do you ask?
It's a lot to take in. Y'all have y'all have only been here for what, 2 months or so. Your friend's missing. We're gonna find him. Y'all had a falling out. It's a lot.
My tribe travels often. That is not what I'm worried about. I am only concerned that Armand might have gotten himself into some danger. Alone, warrior may be strong, but never as strong as when they are in a band.
Andrew, I have an above board question really
Yes.
quick. Can I cast a spell that I didn't have prepared for last session because this was a different day?
Sure, you guys can have, if you wanted to have changed your spells, like it's been a few days now, so you can.
Okay. Because I would, as Rudy asks this, I would love to like step behind Wenden as if to stoke the fire or get something from my pack and cast Detect Thoughts on them.
Okay. Go ahead and output that, because
Yes.
I'm just trying to remember exactly how it works now.
Yeah, you got it.
I sent you a question on Discord, Andrew.
Yeah, I'm curious. Better, like, I want to know what that spell looks like, because I don't think Ilya knows it offhand, but Ilya's got fairly high arcana, so
Oh
They'll
yeah.
Are
want-
you
Yeah.
going for surface thoughts, and do you want to try to do this stealthily?
Just surface thoughts for now, and I do want to try to do it stealthily. I think I will like walk behind Wendon, and as he's like Felipe reaches into his pack as if to pull something out, pulls out a copper piece and just like flips it into the air as if to like signify that he found it. And as he does so, mutters an arcane word under his breath and kind of twists his wrists a little bit to catch it and cast the spell. That's what it looks like.
Okay.
But I am trying to do it stealthily.
Make a stealth check for me. You can, since you don't have to like be next to them when you're casting it, you can cast it and then move and then use your action. It's not too hard, but yeah, Wendon is very perceptive.
Cool.
Is there any way that this conversation happening could grant that roll advantage because he's distracted?
The stealth check. Yeah, I guess if this is happening at the same time, I'll say you can roll with advantage. That's fine.
Cool. I'll just roll again.
Even roll.
Worse.
Okay,
No.
11.
what a
Uh,
time to have such a low passive perception.
No,
I can't do anything right now.
11's not that bad. In this case, you kind of like hold back a little bit as the others walk forward slightly and cast the spell. You don't think Wendon knows a ton about magic, so he seems to have noticed that you cast a spell, but not, he hasn't really thought about what spell. He knows that you're a spellcaster, so you could have been casting any kind of spell. You moved back far enough that it was okay. If you kind of rejoin the group briefly, or after a moment, focusing your detect thoughts outwards in the direction of Wendan. You get like flashes of feeling, definitely like concern, worry, this kind of, I'll say, wistfulness almost. Images of Armon and Wendan together. You think maybe on a hunt of some kind, sitting by the fire, sharing food, curled up next to each other in a tent. And like those are the kinds of things that he's thinking about in this moment.
I'm not going to probe deeper. That's it.
Okay. After like a minute, or not a minute, but after a moment of this, Tarmok kind of like, we should hurry. I think we'll be on them soon. And you all take off once more, jogging through the snow. Eventually, from a distance, you all see a looming figure, kind of tall and stark against the snow. Clearly, a Gathite based off of their skin and everything. And they seem to be fighting with several other creatures at the moment. They seem to be losing. You guys at this point are like, this is happening in the distance. You guys are like a couple thousand feet away at this point in time. Wendan right now like breaks out into a sprint. He is charging. But you all know, without magical means, there's a pretty good chance that you aren't going to get there in time to have an effect on this current battle. What is everybody doing?
I think Rudy decides to also start running forward, and I match the do my best to match pace.
Okay, Rudy takes off in a sprint as well. I think you're a barbarian. You're very slightly faster than Wendam, so it takes a moment, but pretty quickly you're slightly outpacing him. But even you know that it's going to take you maybe a couple minutes to get there, and this fight is rapidly happening. You can see now as you're getting a little bit closer that he seems to be grappling with several small, smaller than him, probably about the same size as a normal humanoid, red-skinned figures. Some of them with tails, all of them wielding bidents, poking at him, trying to drive him back against this sheer kind of ice wall off to your right.
Rudy definitely understands that, but there's two thoughts going through their head. One, they wouldn't forgive themselves for not trying to rescue a person in need. And then two, they know that, or me, the player, knows that Rudy has expertise in medicine. Rudy knows they know how to do healing as at a very rudimentary level. So at the very least, they know they can help with that if it comes to it.
Okay. So that's what Rudy's doing. Henthir, go ahead.
Henthir turns to Felipe primarily, but also Ilya, and says, "Can either of you get us there quicker?" But as he's saying it, he's transforming, and he normally focuses on the lack of reaction to the pain. And as his hand shatters and turns into that paw, he just lets out this really bestial, guttural, lion roar of pain, and shakes it off and says, "Sorry."
Ilya would probably know at this point. Does Henthir have any way of doing expeditious retreat? Can he dash on every turn, or would that help him?
Henthir mechanically can dash for an action.
Okay. So this would give bonus action dash. So could you action and... Oh no, it's on me. It's me. It's not the other cast. The other one is other cast. So Ilya says, one of us.
Can either be healed?
Henthir is significantly faster if this is a question of speeding one of the two of you up.
Yeah. Also, can either be heal from a distance?
No, but I have and he pulls out a bunch of healing potions.
Ilya, can you heal from distance?
Ilya just stares at him. That is not my skill. But what they will do is they will they almost reach into their breastplate, and this hand-size, almost spider-like droid, it's a little mechanical thing.
Oh,
I said droid. I said droid because that's what's in my mind because of the other game that we're setting up. But it's one of the little mechanical artificer tools.
Like a clockwork thing.
Like a clockwork activity, yes. And it has... Oh, I didn't expect to use this one. Hold on. It's like an Eldritch Cannon.
Is that what you're using?
Yeah, it's Eldritch Cannon that I can pass over to one of y'all, and it's got the protector for the heal within 10 feet. But that's it.
Better than nothing. Henthir, can you grab that, please? As Rudy is sprinting away, this conversation is happening.
Yeah, you're running while this is all kind of going on. Henthir actually has slowed himself slightly to keep pace with the other two.
I will say that, like, surprisingly, because it is not really Ilya's game, they have barely finished speaking before they've already cast Expeditious Retreat, and they are dashing into the fray. That gives them like double speed because it's the dash action on every bonus.
Yeah.
Casting it on you or on Henthir?
Self, I can't cast it on another.
I will grab Henthir and cast Dimension Door on both of us. And I will teleport us 500 feet closer.
As soon as we land, Henthir's like sprinting, and Henthir's sprint is 90 feet a turn.
Okay.
So I think I'll get there within a minute.
Yeah, and since
And I have a cannon that I'm carrying now.
Okay. With Dimension Door, the two of you suddenly and find yourselves, basically almost 500 feet in front of even Rudy as you're going. Really quickly, Felipe starts to fall back as Henthir is just full sprinting the fastest amongst you. Yes.
Before I sprint, I'll ask Felipe, will you do that again?
Yeah, we need this guy alive. I'll see you there.
Yeah, that saves sprinting.
Okay.
Sprinting's hard work in snow.
Second Dimension Door. Once more, flashing quickly. So it's been this will happen pretty quickly. It's only been 20 seconds or so, probably 3 rounds, as you're like walking, talking, and then these two Dimension Doors just launching both of you rapidly forward each time in the snow till at the end of the second one, Henthir, you are only a couple rounds away from Tarmon. And you can see these creatures fighting him more fully. They seem to be a kind of yeah, okay. They seem to be a kind of, you would probably call them like a greater imp. So they're like red skinned, they have these poisonous barbed tails and these things. They're significantly larger though. They're like Felipe size as opposed to being like tiny. And the main reason, like as you're watching this, is Tarmon's being pushed back just by the sheer number of them. There's like 6 of them that are kind of like goading, slowly pushing in as he's like, trying to direct attention and just not get hit. You can see he's bleeding from a couple cuts, and there's a spot right on his chest where very clearly one of the barbs has pierced through, and he has been poisoned by one of these creatures. You arrive as none of them really seem to notice you. They're like very focused on this, and they're all faced away from you right as you arise. We're not going to do a combat for this because if we did, you would immediately destroy them collectively as a group once like everybody started to catch up. So you can describe yourselves saving them.
Okay. I like that this is not in a combat. That is the first time I'm using this. As Henthir like hits that last point where he's about to get there, he slams the lightning-infused fist that he has to his breastplate, and his whole body begins to crackle, and it elongates, and his like spine kind of elongates and curves out, and then he's running on all 4s as a full werelion. And he pounces to like in front of Tormund and just starts wailing on the closest imp like with his claws. And will do everything he can to take any attack that comes, and just like be a flurry of essentially lightning claws and fur between this Gathite and these imps.
Okay. Very rapidly, you like take one down in your hands. Probably after 1 round, ripping them basically in half, leaving just 5 to contend with. Tarmon now, having an ally with him, doesn't really seem to question how you arrived, but is still trying to fight like very defensively, but is now like taking pokes out, trying to catch blows on them where he can. But with Henthir's fighting, the imps kind of shift focus to the more deadly target. After another round, Felipe, you start to get into range where you're at least able to cast some of your longer distance spells, some of your, the 120 feet cantrips and whatnot.
Yeah. I think Felipe's first instinct is to just try to do some damage as soon as possible. So he sort of flips the short-hafted spear and sheathes it in a little sheath on his belt. Flips open his spell book and just like with his fingers in the air, traces, and you see 5 little glowing blue points appear. And then he just goes and taps each one and shoots 5 magic missile darts at the imps.
Right. A couple more rounds pass as you guys slowly start to take these creatures out. Rudy, by this time you're about halfway or so, maybe, or at least starting to get there. But you can see that the other two have gotten there, and the fight has sort of started to turn. Tarmon continues to stab out, kind of taking one in the gut before Henthir finishes it with a massive paw swipe. With the combined efforts of the 3 of you, the rest of the imps slowly start to fall. The others behind, kind of watching this, seem relieved as it happens. As the combat begins to end, the last one kind of falling under a combination of Felipe's magic and Henthir's blows. You will see Tarmon kind of rest on his spear before like sliding down, collapsing onto the ground in basically a heap. He's kind of like struggled to keep himself up, but wasn't able to do so.
The full transformation is only 3 rounds, so I think by this time Henthir is back to fighting in like the hybrid form. But we'll kind of crouch very quickly and pull out a healing potion and just like funnel it into Tormund's mouth.
Okay. You do heal him as he like seems to recover a bit of strength, but he like points at his chest. Poison. And you can tell the healing potion has healed him, but it has not cured the poison, and he seems to still be suffering slow damage over time from it.
Ah.
Well, I can't deal with that at all, so I think I press 2 or 3 more potions into his hands, just so he can like keep himself up, and then Henthir looks at Felipe and says, I will be back momentarily, and like very quickly kind of starts to hurry to somewhere that is not within eyesight of the party.
He dashes off as Felipe goes now to Tarmon.
Tarmon, I presume? We're here to rescue you, I think.
And you can see like his vision seems slightly hazy.
Hey, stay with me. Stay with me. We're here to help. We're here with Wenden, okay? They were worried about you and they brought us to help. Been gone a long time, but take it easy. We're gonna take care of you.
Where is he?
Catching up right now with the Warlocks. He's right behind us.
He should be here. The end.
Hey, hey, come on, don't talk like that. It's not shit. I am not set out for this.
You
Has Ilya caught up at this point?
You pour another healing potion to him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a couple quick rolls just to see like how badly the poison affects him.
Okay, because this is actually the one thing that she could help with. They could help with, but also Ilya was going at 60 feet per round, so no dashes times 2, like doing dash on bonus and action. So they might be close now.
No, he actually rolled pretty good. I made 5 rolls and he didn't roll below 10. So
I love
he
the one
is
person that he wants to see is the person who's going to get there last.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually true. I think. No, he's the same speed as Ilya. Although, no, actually, that's not true because Ilya has Vicious Free. Yes, he is moving the slowest of all of them.
No.
Rudy. No, actually, Ilya would get there before Rudy because with Expedition Retreat, you are faster. So, Ilya, you come up to Felipe, who has just poured another healing potion into this guy who's clearly like dying from poison, and that like Henthir and Felipe have just been keeping this guy from not dying, not curing the thing that's killing him.
Yeah, poison. Hey, you got anything?
Yeah. So for enjoyment's sake, I'm going to say that Ilya overheard his be here at the end comment, and as Ilya like skids to a stop and drops to their knees next to them, they're going to say, "Oh, stop being so dramatic." And reaching down with their Cordal imprinted hand, they are going to Lesser Restore.
Whoa.
The one healing
the
thing.
exact use of Lesser Restoration.
Yeah.
The only healing thing. I don't even have Cure Wounds on this character.
You cure Tarmon of the poison that has been afflicting him. He's still like weak, but no longer actively being harmed by the poison in his system. He seems to like. Thank you. I thought for sure I was going to perish out here.
Ilya like lowers their head and says, "But if you did that, then he would have no evidence to prove me wrong." And they're definitely saying it low enough so that it's poor Wendan, who is still trucking, wouldn't hear.
Yeah, I'll say at this point in time, Rudy arrives, kind of sliding in the snow next to them, seeing that it seems like to you that Tarmon is okay, clearly still quite injured, but like just down and wounded. And some of those wounds have been like patched up even by the healing potion. Just now, it's mainly just the blow from the poison and like the internal damage still afflicting him. And moments later, Rudy is followed by Wendan, who slides stop next to you. It's Tarmon. Pulls him in close. Says, I'm alive. They are there for a moment and kind of like just forget about all of you for a half a second. As they're like just in an embrace. Tarmon, as this moment happens and then passes, says, "I suppose you are right. I am going to die out here one of these days, facing ruins of the past." Shakes his head slowly. He says, "No. Not as long as we're together. You might be able to help these people with what you know." And he kind of Tarmon remembers then that other people are here, and he looks up at Felipe, Ilya, Rudy. By this point in time, Henthir's probably starting to come back, but still off in the distance. Tarmon says, "I must give my thanks to all of you for coming to my rescue, though you do not know me." And he specifically looks at Ilya at this time. He says, "You saved me from a slow death, and for that I am in your service."
Ilya shoots a glance at Felipe and now Rudy, who are still nearby, and almost is like clearly looking over their shoulder for Henthir. But they know why Henthir wanders away when he's in full, well, not full anymore, but close to werewolf mode. So they just clear their throat very quickly and they say, "In my service, exactly what I like to hear. These ruins, this thing that you're tracking," and then they flip their hand at Felipe. The short one has questions, and they're gonna step up and like start walking around, like almost like aimlessly back and forth.
Before I turn back to Tarmon and Wendon, even if Ilya's not paying attention, I'll just be like, "Thanks, Ilya. That was a tight one. Good job."
And as you are kind of asking these questions, Wendon has pulled out like some herbs, some bandages, and it's not doing any magical healing, but just like kind of wrapping up everything that didn't get cured by the healing potions and everything.
Yeah, Felipe will keep it short. I mean, he knows this is a man currently undergoing convalescence, and I will mention Ilharkathax by name. I will say we're looking for any ancient ruins that might have some connection to the old legends. If he has seen any strange figures out here in the tundra, people who don't belong, outsiders, and that's about it. Just keep it like really short and brusque.
Okay. After a little bit, the bandages are happening. Sits back up, resting on his spear as you guys kind of move him back to lean him up against a shelf that mere minutes ago was going to be his death as he was pressed up against it and speared down. He and Alec rests there, recovering. It says, I think I have seen the ruins of which you speak. They are 2 days farther travel to the north, though with your speed, you might be able to get there sooner. I was tracking. I'm not sure what the demon. I suppose I saw his footprints and thought it odd, not a creature that I had seen before around these parts. Like a mountain goat, his footprints were, but 2 by 2 and large, very large. I followed his tracks as I was wandering, trying to think about things. As he glances very slightly at Wendan. Eventually, I caught up with him, but it did not seem to be what I was tracking. He was disguised magically, I think, as a Gathite. He claimed to be from another tribe, though I could sense something off about him. When I asked what he was doing out here, he claimed to be hunting, but he did not seem to have the right tools, and carried with him no food, no cooking equipment. I inquired about this. He laughed. Not the laugh of a man. He then, with magic, vanished, told me not to stray too far to the north. I decided to continue going after him. I had a suspicion of the ruins. That he was there. I had seen them before and always thought that they seemed strange and terrible. Like they were housing some great power. The next day, saw these tracks again, and so began to follow them. For 2 more days, they led me seemingly in circles until I saw the man again on a mountaintop in the distance. It was then that these creatures, as he points to the dead bodies now kind of lying in the distance, they ambushed me and pushed me back. If I had other warriors with me, we could have dispatched them, but there were 10 of them, and I was alone. I killed a few, but not before taking wounds and retreating back further and further, till I came to this spot I thought would be my doom. Till I was saved by you.
Wendon, we're just kind of instruments today. Wendon saved you. We only found you because of him.
Looking back at Wendon, who smiles at him, the rare Gathite smile. They kind of exchange a connection of the foreheads for a moment before coming back apart. Wendon, much to discuss at camp. He turns to Felipe again. I believe you should hurry. Whatever that creature was trying to do seemed agitated and followed him. I think now that he could have killed me quite easily had he wanted to. But I suspect he is lurking nearby and thought this is sport. That is the kind of creature I felt him to be.
Well, hustle is the name of the game today, so duly noted.
He will begin to describe like an exact route that you can take, where the runes are, kind of what they look like. He kind of describes them as like probably at one point they were like a full building, but now there's like no roofs. Most of the walls are gone or buried underneath snow. But there is like a massive fissure of ice there, and underground. He believes maybe long ago it was a lake before it was frozen over. He's never been there, mostly because like it's not like forbidden, but it's like slightly taboo a little bit to go to these kinds of ruins amongst the Gathite here. They're considered like a bit dangerous, like relics of the past. You shouldn't go into them unless you have like a really good reason to. Kind of relates to you some of the things that he knows about it. At some point during this, he does say, I think too weak to go on with you. You should continue on without me. I will head back once I am more rested.
I think Rudy hearing that is also going to donate some of their supplies so that there's definitely enough for like a healing person, or to heal like a person up with like enough margin. Yeah.
Yeah, he takes it like gladly. He says, I am even further in your debt. Thank you.
That is not how we operate. Happy to help.
How I operate.
Ilya's not here for this conversation.
Surely we could come back from by now.
Yeah, you've probably come back by now. I mean, this conversation's taken long enough that Wendon has started making like a fire for Tarmon. knowing that he's going to have to rest here for a while. Wendan will say, glancing occasionally at Tarmon, I've agreed to lead you to where you are going, and I will do so. Let us stop long enough for me to make sure that Tarmon is settled.
I think Rudy will pull Felipe aside real quick. I'll go, I appreciate our need for a guide, but I'm worried about leaving Tarmon here without his friend. And I know what it's like. And it's a painful thing to not have your found family with you, and I don't want to leave him alone.
I'm right there with you. I think we can make it the rest of the way around.
Okay.
Let's let them get back to the village safely.
Absolutely.
Also, Henthir, did you know about that? Because I certainly didn't know about that. I didn't think it was like a full-blown, lycanthropy, I'm going to become a beast sort of. That was the first time. That was wild.
It was freaky, and I've seen some weird shit in the mountains, okay? But, like, that filled me with the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, the spine thing is what gets me. Because, the spine has to elongate, and that's the part where I lose it. That's where I'm like, no.
I think I want to grab my doll back from him.
Yeah, I think that's not a bad idea. Oh, there's lots to unpack there, and I think we should start there for sure. But
I vaguely feel like he might be lying to us about the old man thing.
He might be
Like
lying,
that's,
lying to us. Lying? Hey! I take 1d6 psychic damage.
I take 1d6 psychic damage.
I need to know if I can kill them.
One hit might do it.
Oh.
So Rudy will then, after that conversation, turn to Wyndon, I do appreciate your service right now. And I appreciate your willingness to guide us the rest of the way. For now, I think it is more important that you stay here and you support your friend.
He is like about to argue with you before he looks at Tarmon again and thank you.
Gotta care for the people we love, even when we're mad at them.
Not. If there's anything on my person that might aid you, I have few things compared to the wonders that you carry. Do let me. But he will go and sit down next to Tarmon, throw his arm as well as his cloak over the two of them, place a kiss on his forehead before throwing another log on the fire.
Henthir does look more frail this evening than normal.
Rudy ain't buying it anymore. Even if it's not an act, Rudy is like,
Rudy's like, you can't fool me, lion man.
You can be both old and a lion. Like,
I want a whole session for Henthir's backstory, but I can't get it, so Felipe is going to keep his mouth shut. But,
yeah, you just get to watch a bunch of lions die over the course of 800 years.
oh god, it's so bad. It's so much worse than I love lions.
Can Rudy roll an insight check against Henthir's frailness?
To you guys, however you want to handle that.
Yeah, I don't mind.
I'm unbothered.
I won't roll a deception check because he's not being deceptive.
Okay, Rudy's not gonna go ask for the shawl back then.
He actually is an old man. He's both.
Yeah, I think the frailness in particular in this case, he looks very, very white as well. Like he is lacking enough blood to really be keeping his body going right at the moment.
Okay.
Is it snowing?
It is lightly snowing at this point in time.
Good. Excellent. That's important.
It is quite cold. So you all rest here for a bit, watching these two lovers. You now realize, some of you had figured that out earlier, reunite and talk about, words of forgiveness are shared between the two, discussions of the future. But eventually you think it is time to move on and continue. On the next day, is when you encountered the frost giants, about a day's out from when you had saved Tarmon, and had that battle. We have come back to where that ending point is now. You kind of look over these giants. They seem to have been, reanimated of some kind. You're more than welcome to take the druid lady's axe if you want. It's absolutely massive. Probably only Rudy could use it. For you, for her it was a hatchet. For you, it's a great axe. So, but if you want to use it,
take it.
Okay. Let me.
Send me the stats on that shit.
I'll drop it in.
Rudy's just an Elden Ring character at this point.
Yeah.
Reach into my back pocket and pull out a giant hammer. I gotta sit by this fire. Let me put my giant hammer in my pocket.
Rudy's got a lot of pockets.
While Andrew's thinking of that, my current character is using the grafted greatsword, which is the most insane weapon to think that you would ever put anywhere. So just a bunch of iron spikes.
I just fought the Godskin Apostle in Caelid and got the Godskin robes. Horrifying things. Truly cursed objects in a video game. Absolutely disgusting object design. I love it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of anything Godskin related. Also, I hadn't seen anything Godskin related before that one, and I was just wandering into the basement of this place.
Mm-hmm.
This is
Same.
well, that's terrifying.
I was like, no, this sucks. I'm out. Hard boss, too.
It can also curve and elongate its spine.
Yeah, when you started saying that, because I just did that boss fight last night, I was like, oh no, he's going full Godskin mode on us.
No. No. Sadly.
Add it to your sheet as
form.
the giant's hand axe. It is a great axe. There's 2d6 damage, is what I'm going to say, so it's not quite a great axe. There's 2d6 damage plus mod. It's a +1 weapon. That does an additional 2d6 points of cold damage.
Well, that's pretty good. Does it still have the thrown thing because it's a hatchet? That'd be very funny.
You're more than welcome to try to throw it.
What was that in? Because I see in the weapon information that it is ranged. So
it is a hatchet. It is shaped like a hatchet. You can throw it if you like, but that's up to you. Your range is not the same as her range. Let me fix that.
I see. Okay.
Unfortunately, you are same size. It also, I will say, requires you to have 18 strength, but you got 20, so you're fine.
Yeah, I'm fine.
I think as you're hefting your new axe, Henthir's this time probably even more than fighting those imps covered in blood and just sighing as he in his hybrid form, the wounds begin to knit every so often, like a scar will just tighten up. He says, "This is a more taxing adventure than our previous one, Ilya."
Ilya has just been giving Henthir side eye the whole time, looking at his various wounds. And just kind of nods jerkily and then goes back to what they were. Are we still in camp? I had a dog that was yelling a lot in that last session.
We're at the Giants.
We've zoomed back to where the very first combat ended.
Okay. And so are we settling there, or are we still moving?
I think you guys are still
I think we're
moving
still
after
moving.
this. Yeah.
Okay. Then in that case, Ilya has been side-eyeing him since the fight went on, and says, "You got your teeth kicked in back there?"
Less teeth to kick in now. It's easier.
That startles a rare chuckle from them that just kind of they stifle it before it can become quite a guffaw. Granted. And then they start to speak again. Henthir, are you? And then they just cut themselves off before maybe they were going to increase their pace, but they know that Henthir moves like a fucking freight train, also anachronistic, so they slow down instead, just a little bit.
It moves like a jet ski across the snow.
A single jet ski.
It's the stupidest things. Sure. Henthir has had a long time of Ilya opening up at their own pace, so we'll never push them to say so.
You guys continue. You can long rest in between this and the last fight, so rest up your spells, get your HPs, and everything. On the next day, after you've made camp, you break it, you move on for a couple hours before, within sight, you can see what to all of you looks like the ruins and remains of some kind of ancient castle or fortress. There are like spires that clearly were once part of towers that have since been like sheared in half and the stone just fallen into rubble. Walls and gates that are just down to like the last 2 or 3 feet of piled stone as everything's been collapsed inwards. Like a vast staircase, which is probably the thing of all of the building, which is in the most intact of everything else. But you can see kind of this dilapidated. In some ways, it almost looks like an empty skull to some of you. Missing teeth, maybe parts of the jawbone are gone as well. It has that kind of sense of decay, not just that it's empty and dead, but it's also been sitting here for a very long time after that. You all kind of move closer towards it. I imagine, probably stealthily, but there's no patrols as far as you can see. No guards or anything like that. You eventually come up, walking up the stairs. Passing through a threshold, you see in the middle of what must be a very wide courtyard is a dragon. The same dragon that you saw earlier or the previous day. It is covered in thick pieces of metal like armor, but they seem to have been nailed directly into its body, like it has been grafted onto it. Segmented plates coming up the tail, all the way on the back, and along the ridges of the wings. A helmet even covers its head and lower jaw that likewise seems to have been placed on there in a very cruel manner. Standing next to it is a tall figure, the same one which you saw at a distance, now much closer. They have a almost. They seem to be carrying a cane, but it has a scepter-like quality to it, a large orb at the end. Massive horns jut kind of straight out and around, framing its head almost like a crown. They have robes on, which are, dark black and red, which matches kind of their skin. Their eyes are black. Only the pupils have a dark red color on either side. And they're looking down towards what seems to be ice of some kind. You're not sure what they're looking at specifically, but they seem to be looking like past the surface of the ice into something that lies below. This is where we're going to take our break.
Oh,
So we're going to...
I don't like that.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
we're going to take 10 minutes, if that's okay with everybody.
Yeah, sounds good.
Cool.
We'll be right back to see what happens next. I'll see you guys
Here we
in just
go.
a second. Right. Hello. Welcome back to the finale here on the Imris Saga. So you guys have just been confronted. As I said, they're kind of the demon, and it clearly seems the demon to you is kind of staring off like at something beneath the ice. The dragon kind of sitting alongside it as you're entering into this space. Anybody who wants to can make me a religion check if you would like to.
So funny because Ilya has been indirectly touched by a god, and yet
Ilya, you can have advantage.
I don't think Ilya wants to roll.
Okay.
Ilya
Ilya is
doesn't want to know these things.
blocking out the knowledge.
Yeah, no, I want to roll, especially after you said advantage. But damn.
All right. Henthir, you can tell just by the nature of this creature, the demon specifically, that this is some kind of greater demon. Clearly of some power. They're not massive. They're only large. They're only a little bit larger than say a Gathite, but they have this regality to them. It's in this like kind of off way. This is clearly some kind of like ruler or like demon lord of some kind that you are now up against. Such beings, are rare and few in number. They very often can cast spells to of a powerful level. Anybody who would like to could also make me an Arcana check. This is about the dragon.
Can I activate my... Well, had to come eventually. Can I activate my hybrid form as well, like...
You're
kind
kind
of
of
watching
stepping
this
into
happen?
this space. Sure.
Do I know from my religion check which of the three options I have it would be least likely resistant to out of cold, lightning, or thunder?
Lightning, 17. Probably just because of like it. I think that's like a logical thing. It was sent here. It probably has some cold resistance.
Yeah. Sure, I'll just do thunder because it's the higher level, right?
Yeah, and less things after there. Okay, so you all. Felipe, I'll do Ilya first, then Felipe. Rudy, this is Henthir. This is a dragon. Something's been done to it. You don't know what.
A dragon.
Rudy, this is a dragon, and it's clearly a like frost dragon of some kind. Maybe related to white dragons, but you don't know that much more beyond that. Ilya and Felipe, you can both tell that this is clearly a subtype of white dragon. It's very similar in appearance to a white dragon, but there are some differences about it that you would probably say, Felipe, you would know this for certain. This is like a frost dragon, so it's like a rarer kind of subset of that type. Ilya, you're more kind of like guessing at this with your 21. You both can tell that this dragon, the armor that's on it, was not placed willingly. It is probably under some kind of spell that the armor is a part of, that is placed it, you imagine, under the control of the demon standing next to it. With 25, Felipe, you've read about these creatures once or twice. They can basically around them, they can kind of summon buffeting ice winds that will throw creatures back and make it difficult to approach. In addition to a breath weapon attack, and that they can build this up into a blizzard around them.
As we're taking in the scene, can I use a bonus action to enter the Blade Song before we kick off?
Sure. Do you guys want to, at this point in time where it actually kind of matters, are you going to try to stealth up? Are you going to try to just walk forward and enter combat? What's the approach here?
What distance are we away?
Like a little over 100 feet. Sorry, excuse me. A little under 100 feet, like 75 or so. You're not that far by the time you're coming into full view of these. As you're coming up this set of stairs.
We should try and take them by surprise, and if it doesn't work, Henthir flexes a claw, and a little bit of thunder, well, not crackles because thunder doesn't crackle, but so yeah, I think it's not booms because it's not stealthy, but yeah, I think we should try stealthing,
okay.
And we should then, when that fails, start the fight.
All right. Can I get a group stealth check as you try to sneak closer within the dashing distance of the screen? Off to a great start.
Come on, hit that nat 20. Oh my god.
Yeah, they for sure see you. I still want to see. Oh my god.
This is some of the worst rolling.
Plan worked as I thought.
Not a roll above a 9.
Awful. You could get above a 10, 2 nat ones. You guys take a step up onto this platform, immediately crunching in snow and ice. Both the dragon and the demon turn towards you. There's a brief pause before everything springs into action, where the demon says, "I've been expecting you." Have everybody. I'm going to move us to a map.
The good thing about those terrible rolls is that we can pretend we weren't trying to be stealthy in fiction. If later he's like, "Why didn't you try and sneak up on us?" I'm like, "Well, we were being honorable."
Attention, demon lord, we are here to challenge you.
Yeah, you walked up and just started screaming at him.
Hey, dude!
What an embarrassing display.
You're all half crouched as well, trying to move into this space, and you just
Look,
at least
we got 3 natural ones out of the way in the last 8 rolls.
Oh, this is
Good god.
Jeez.
At a certain point, a level 14 party has no excuse for no roll above a 10. So,
I mean, I don't think any of us are stealthy.
Not one of us.
You should be able to see your 4 tokens, the dragon, and maybe the demon. He's off screen at the moment. That's because
but I can see him.
he will immediately be getting onto the dragon, and there's not a good way for me to represent that token wise. So I'm just going to have the dragon beat both of them up until the time that he removes himself.
I need to step away. My mouse is out of batteries, so I will be back in a hot second.
This is a dope map. This is a beautiful map.
Double check. It's been a little bit since I made this. I took the base map and I did some Photoshop magic. So that's the image of the ice dragon from the banner that I had made forever ago. That kind of layered under there and tried to make it look like it was underneath ice.
The effect is
It's easy to make an ice effect. I learned when I was doing this. It does look very good.
The hard part was like making the mask look good. It was just the water already on the map that was turned into like this icy effect.
Yeah, I am enjoying it.
All right. Yeah, you should be in. Go ahead and everybody roll me initiative. Well, you roll.
Get initiative. All right, got advantage.
Cool.
I always forget that as a barbarian, you get advantage on initiative rolls.
It's very funny.
Yeah. The demon prince is so
We all
surprised.
rolled so good on this one as well.
The demon prince is so surprised that we would just walk up like this that he's caught
I rolled
flat-footed.
low.
Yeah.
You still got the drop on him somehow.
Absolutely much. Well, I mean, they also have the lowest.
Yeah, they're not
initiative.
super quick. All right.
This is when it's real bad to go first, but
To take 2 rounds to move forward again.
Okay. Felipe, it is your turn first as the two groups now come and are staring each other down, and everybody's about to burst into action. Felipe, what are you doing?
So at the moment, how far away is the demon from the dragon?
They're essentially like in the same square at this point in time.
Gotcha.
Immediately on his turn, he will be getting onto the dragon. I'll say that's actually happening right now, that's maybe why they're going slightly slower. They're essentially in the same space that he's riding the dragon. You could target them separately. Any AoE that would hit one is going to hit the other. They'll make separate saves. They are two distinct entities, but he is on top of the dragon.
All right, I'm going to start my turn by taking a step back, and then 2 steps to the right, kind of like gutting down this giant staircase a little bit and sort of maneuvering my body so I'm somewhat covered behind it. And I'm going to flip open my spellbook to a page really quickly. Felipe's eyes just glow purple, and he shouts a word in a language of the stars, and I'm going to cast Rauthin's Psychic Lance on the dragon.
All right. Start.
it's like, I don't even know what that spell is, and then I do know what that spell is because I use it, but I have a different version.
Right.
It's a great spell.
Ooh, that's a real bad roll. This thing is not that intelligent.
Love to see it.
It takes 76 psychic damage. Go ahead and roll that.
You got it.
Incapacitate. Move, but it can't take actions or reactions.
Huh.
Or bonus actions, because of the nature of bonus actions. You have to have an action available.
But it can move.
But it can move, which is weird.
Oh, it can move? Oh, all right.
Yeah,
It can move.
incapacitated a dumb...
We had looked at it last time.
Cool.
The way I think about it is like it's like a step below like being like completely physically blacked out. Like it's just so out of it that it can't focus its actions, but it can still kind of maneuver around a little bit. Generally speaking, when they're incapacitated, I try to not have them. So it makes sense that they would be doing something kind of automatically. Okay, yes, you do 22 points of psychic damage as this lance bursts out from your hands, hitting the creature in the head as kind of head rearing up. It is then going to be Henthir's turn.
Oh, sorry. I'm going to keep moving.
Oh, sorry.
I'm going to finish my movement. I'm just going to tuck behind this giant pillar. And that's it.
Now it is Henthir's turn.
I will move to here. It's the ice. I tell it the ice. You can walk on it.
You can walk
I
on
see
the
what
ice.
you
It is quite thick. You suspect it goes all the way down. There's no water beneath.
Oh, well, then I'm not worried about it at all. And then Henthir, Henthir, now that he has thunder on his claws, holds a hand out and just channels all that thunder energy into this huge booming like sound. And you all think it should make a sound, but none of you hear it. Only the dragon hears this Toll the Dead in its head.
And I'll make that save. As you step out into the ice and like glance down, you can see trapped. Like you're not sure how far below you. The ice kind of throws that off. But deep under the ice, which is like strangely clear, is this like dragon, seemingly like instantly frozen, maw open. You think you maybe see like some life in the eye, but it's not 100% clear to you. But it's absolutely huge, and it's beneath you.
I immediately revise Plan 3 to be a different plan.
Yeah, it is large enough that it could easily fit this other dragon in its mouth in one bite, quite easily. In fact.
An hors d'oeuvre.
So it takes half, right?
18 necrotic. Yeah, half. No, save. It's a cantrip. Sorry,
okay.
I didn't see.
It did save. Yeah, I did roll. The thunderous rings out, but this time the dragon seems a little bit more mentally fortified, or perhaps it's just more resistant to this type of magic as it shrugs off this effect. It's your movement action. Any bonus action?
No, I did my bonus action already. Wait, give me 1 second. I just have to see which of my things that's a reaction. That's a bonus action. Sure, I'll bonus action 30 feet. No, can't reach. I'm done.
Okay, excellent. Rudy, it is then your turn to spring action.
Okay, because I can only do things when I am up and on a creature. I will be action, or I'll be doing my movement. Oh my god, how do I deselect the? There we go. Full movement, and then action as a dash, and then bonus action. We will be entering a rage.
Right. Rages.
And that is all I can do.
Yeah. I think I left the rage off from last combat. So
I don't think it's ever been turned off.
Probably not. I mean, you're a barbarian. You're pretty much always going to have it up unless you have used it up. Rudy just charges in forward, going to rage. As they are wont to do, going straight at this dragon. Ilya, it is then your turn. You can see the demon prince looking down on you specifically with a slight smirk blooming across his face.
I think Ilya is going to stare at the demon prince for a moment. Then, like their gaze followed Rudy as Rudy just like ran straight into this dragon's like grill. And they're going to go ahead and cast their maddening, whatever the maddening hex that is, the one for the Hexblade's Curse. Not maddening hex, not hex, but the other hex, Hexblade's Curse, on the dragon. And so that's their bonus action. And then they're going to follow that up. It's almost mocking. They look over at the demon, and as they draw their sword and that dark energy that seems to split the world in two issues forth to cast Eldritch Blast at the dragon, they're looking at the demon. And now that I've said that, I'm going to massively miss, but we'll see. That's what I get for describing spells.
It's gonna be one hit.
Well, that's probably not a miss.
Love to see it.
Forget how good Eldritch Blast is until I see it. It's been a week since you used Eldritch Blast last. I'm like, oh yeah, this is really good.
All I want, if I had just gotten one more on that, I would have had a critical.
Well, you get to make 2 more.
I always forget this.
Yeah.
Hey, look at
There
that.
you go.
You willed it. You willed it into being.
That one misses.
Okay.
This is against the dragon, right? What did you
Yeah.
say? Yes, that one misses. It glances off of these thick plates before
Ooh,
crashing into the
Eldritch Blast,
ground. What's that?
Are you
So-
adding your bonus damage from the Hex Plates first to this as well?
It doesn't add automatically, but it just needs to be
It should be an extra.
5
plus
for each.
5. Yeah. And then as soon as they do that, like they're still looking at the demon, and they just step behind this pillar, much like little Felipe.
You've got these 2 range guys just hiding while the melees go in. So the first Eldritch Blast kind of catches it in the neck, in between some of the armored plates, leaving a scorched mark by it. The other one kind of dives straight into its eye, blasting against it. But the third one, it kind of turns just enough, and it ping off of one of the shoulder plates before slamming into the ground, kind of throwing up snow and dirt. So that's going to be Ilya's turn. The dragon can't really do very much on this turn. Stay put. It will move slightly.
Take a barrage.
It will kind of move over to here to just be like just maneuvering around in a hazy state. And that's it. The demon prince is then going to go casting its eye across the battlefield.
And I think only Felipe can see this, but as soon as that prince starts to react, Ilya is pressed flat against the pillar, and their like usual shitty expression of "screw you" is completely gone. They look like they are trying not to piss themselves.
And then the ruler aims for Ilya.
Oh, we knew.
The demon prince begins to twist its arms around, swirling. It kind of holds the staff aloft as it kind of twirls it around, chanting in the demonic tongue as it does so. It seems to like swirl up as flame begins to gather around the tip of this staff. It finally seems to direct it downwards towards Ilya. It is going to cast Flame Strike here.
That dex. Oh boy.
Yes, it is a dexterity saving throw. As the from the heavens, fire just erupts downwards in your direction. Go ahead and make that dex save.
Checking the description of one of my things, and I'm like, nope, that does not have anything to do with dex, I'm certain.
Whoa!
Whoa!
That is a success, just barely.
Insane.
Literally the only 2 numbers on the die.
So you're only going to take half as much.
That's amazing. Great. I love this game.
Oh, that was not a very good roll. Roll a lot of ones there. So you're going to take 13 points of damage. Yeah, that was terrible rolls. As this vertical column of fire crashes into you. Narrowly, you kind of dive, pressing yourself up against the pillar to avoid taking the brunt of it.
When you said Flame Strike, I thought it was Firestorm. I thought, well, we're all dead.
No,
Like,
not really.
All cast on Ilya.
We're going to work our way up to it.
yeah, this is the lowest spell it has.
It's then going to be Felipe's turn once more.
Alright. I am going to keep trucking away from the fight, although now I will be in the open. I think I clock Ilya's spear just out of the corner of my eye as I like skid down these stairs, still in the blade song. And I just sort of like lock eyes with them, and I'm like, "You're here now. You're in this. Let's get it done." And I will break the spear across the ground, shooting up sparks, and chuck a little bit of that guano and sulfur into the sparks, and cast a delayed blast fireball, pretty much right on top of the dragon. Yeah, let's do it right back here so it doesn't get cool. There we go. And I am sorry, I just need to reread this spell.
That's okay.
I just can't recall when I can set it off other than the moment it's my turn.
It ends when your concentration is broken, and you can always choose to end your concentration.
Yeah.
Or because
Okay.
you decide to end it.
Okay. Then I am.
Yeah, I think, and you don't have to do that on your turn or as a reaction. It just like happens. As far as I.
Yeah, that was going to be my question. Because if that's the case, I will just leave it there. I'm not going to detonate it.
Okay, so this bead of light is sort of slowly building right on that spot.
I really like the throne aspect of this. I've never read Delayed Blast Fireball.
It's a pretty good spell. Okay, excellent. Did you want to move or do anything? Well, you already moved a little bit. Did you want to do anything else?
Yeah, sorry, I'm just reminding myself how much I moved. I moved 30 feet. And I will step up 5 feet.
Okay. I actually think you have to be there to cast it because of how tall you are compared to the stairs.
Oh, yeah. I didn't think about that. Yeah, okay, so I would have been there. That is within 60 feet of the dragon. Affects anything. But, yeah. I'll stay there.
Good to know. Good to know.
Can I make an Arcana check to know about Delayed Blast Fireball?
Sure.
Oof.
Oh, wrong.
Just because
Okay.
Henthir knowing the throwing aspect of it might have helped at some point, but not knowing it is. I'd rather have the roll to know whether I do it.
At the end of Felipe's turn, the dragon's going to use a legendary action, make a tail attack against Rudy.
Not Rudy.
Hitting.
Cool.
Only for 5 points of damage to you because you're raging. The tail kind of whips around, smacking into you, but you absorb the brunt of the damage. It's not the most serious blow that you've ever taken. And Felipe's turn. It's going to be Henthir's turn.
Henthir, as we saw a few days ago, begins to move and starts on his 2 feet, but ends on all fours as he does his full transformation into the were-lion and like bounds up onto this precarious ruin. But on the way in the transformation, the blood that kind of spurts out as his different bones and muscles like rip and tear and reknit themselves, it all coalesces into this ball that he's dragging with him like a chain. And then that ball, he swings at it with a bonus action to Blood Curse of the Marked, the dragon. I will amplify it, so I will have advantage on my first attack. And then I still get 3 because I'm in this form. And all of my damage die are doubled because of the thing. So, that's 2 15s. We're going to do it twice. It's a crit. That one shouldn't have been with advantage. I apologize. So it should be a crit, and then the third one is a 16. 28
Yes.
to hit. Is that fine?
You rolled it first, so we'll say it's the first one. You still crit.
Okay, and then I'll make a third attack roll at normal.
At normal, yeah.
24.
Okay, excellent. Go ahead and roll the damage. All of those hit the dragon.
Alright, I'm thinking about the best way to do this because I can't double it, really. I'm just gonna roll manually for each one. 48 plus my dex plus my I don't remember what my static bonus is. I think it's predatory strikes is +2 right now. Alright, so this is the first one. This is the second one.
Jesus.
Ha-
Oh,
That's a good 8d8 roll.
wow.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So roughly half of this is thunder damage, and the rest is magical slashing. So
Okay.
Henthir runs forward, now in this lion form, flashes this blood into the dragon, and as he slashes, his paws aren't that much bigger in lion form, but as they attack, the blood from within his hand elongates into these massive, huge, like 6-foot long claws that are just ripping into the side of this dragon.
Right. With this flurry of blows, the dragon, you're kind of like getting up in between plates, like ripping down into softer, fleshy bits as you like pull and damage this dragon. It writhes and roars as you deal a tremendous amount of damage to it on this turn.
And I did the
it's-
Hemicroft damage for my amplification.
Not quite bloody, but it's definitely wounded at this point in time. At the end of your turn, the Demon Prince Azumon is going to use 3 legendary actions. 0. To cast Spirit Guardians. It kind of begins to chant, Waskadun, come, spirits! As these demonic kind of flaming skulls begin to swirl around it and the dragon. Click on that.
I am personally offended.
You're personally
This
offended?
is your fault.
This is payback. Yeah, so it summons these spirit guardians around it. That's going to be its legendary action. I need Rudy immediately to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Love to see it.
19. Fail.
Oh,
so
No.
close.
You're going to take 17 points. Still have, because it's not force, and you are totem, bear totem. You take 8 points of radiant damage.
okay.
I love these like spells that are just hitting Rudy for inconsequential amounts of damage over and over and over again.
It's like I always get so nervous, and then I remember,
Chip it away. Yeah, you're a barbarian. It's hard to hurt you.
love to see it.
Don't worry, it'll hit Henthir too, eventually.
No, I'm gonna. It's gonna move away foolishly.
I don't think Rudy is interested in hurting this dragon. I think Rudy is interested in getting the demon off of the dragon. So what would it take to get Rudy onto the dragon?
I mean, you could try to climb onto the dragon if you want. The demon doesn't necessarily have to be off for you to do that, although, you might start to annoy it. If you want to try to, like, pull the demon off, which you could do, it'll be an athletics check, opposed athletics checks.
I would prefer to do that. Just to reach up and yank
So,
it.
yeah, so basically you'll I always forget how grapple works, but it'll be a grapple check, and then you'll be able to try to
You
pull
have
the-
advantage if you're raging.
Perfect.
pulling up the grapple rolls real quick.
Grapple is the attack is athletics versus it's very funny. Versus
Instead of
either
attack roll, athletics. Oppose athletics by its strength or acrobatics. Sorry, its athletics or acrobatics. If you succeed there, and this is in place of an attack. I do want you to be aware of that.
Yes, that is fine with that. And I know I forfeit my second attack for that also.
Yes. Okay.
Isn't it in place of one attack of grapple? So you
Did you
wouldn't
do-
forfeit
yes.
your second attack?
So it's weird. This it came up recently for me as well. Actually, it's if it's a monster, it takes all of its attacks. If it's a player, it only takes one attack, which I think is dumb. But that is how the rolling works.
Extra attack does, like, you have to take the attack action on your turn in order to get it.
But the grappling rules
Is an
are that
attack.
you have taken the attack action to start grappling. It's very dumb.
There's also some.
It specifically says if you're able to make multiple attacks with the attack action, this attack replaces one of them.
Yeah.
But if it's multi-attack for a monster, that's you would be correct. That is how it works for monsters. For some reason.
I've got to go have a talk and do that with the one DM who's been taking away my extra attack then.
Well, some monsters that doesn't happen, like vampire spawn, can grapple you on one strike and invite you.
So, yeah,
And there's
some monsters have. It'll say in like the attack, like this attack grapples the creature, or
Yeah.
if this hits, the creature is grappled or whatever. Awesome. Okay. Athletics. Okay. Yeah, their athletics is slightly better, so I'll do that. Oh, I rolled terrible. Okay, you now have them grappled. So you can try to drag them away if you would like to, as they kind of say, "Back, peon, unhand me."
Yeah, so if I have them grapple, I want to yank them off the dragon now.
Okay, you have pulled them down from the dragon, so they are. This is a large creature, so I'm going to place them kind of in between the two of you right here. I guess Spirit Guardian on him. Okay, so yeah, you pulled him down. You're now grappling with him.
And I'm okay. I don't remember where we landed because I have a hard time.
You can make attacks.
Okay.
Well, however many you have left.
I will. I'd actually like to wail on him with my new toy.
Okay. So this is still just a normal roll. Grapple doesn't give you advantage, but you can still make your attacks.
Okay, so first attack was a 22.
That hits.
Perfect.
This time he's been hit.
So much.
Also 22.
And then I will be using my bonus digging claws as well. It's a 20 raw hit. Not 20 raw.
It does.
Dirty.
Dirty 20 does hit. He is a little bit easier to hit than.
The max damage of the digging claws is back.
Okay. So you kind of pull him down, like taking him by like the thigh and like just pulling him down as he fights to stay onto the dragon. And you like kind of take this great axe that you go out and slam it into him for like clawing him down with the hand that you're grabbing. You're really just like shoving your claws into him with the hand that you're already grappling him with. He like yells out in pain as you do so. I
think the predominant anger coursing through Rudy's vein right now is this dragon.
Okay.
They don't know how they would have been behaving otherwise, and they just know that this is very upsetting to look at.
The dragon is going to use, at the end of your turn, going to use a legendary action to make a tail attack against Henthir this time, being as how
By
you
the way.
kind of wrecked his shit a second ago.
Did the dragon make his concentration, or did the demon make his concentration check against all of that?
Yes, let me do that. Thank you.
I always have such nerves about spirit guardians
So
falling.
2 checks.
concentration.
One of them's like 11. Save. Thank you for
20
reminding me.
hits.
20 hits. Okay. You're gonna take 13 points of bludgeoning damage as the tail.
I also resist bludgeoning damage.
You're gonna take
That's my resilient height.
6 points of bludgeoning damage as the tail
Yes, I actually
in
remember.
the other direction. Then it's gonna be Ilya's turn.
Alright. Let's see. You know, this is why I never put Eldritch Blast on a character before, because it's just very limiting.
You also built a character. Who are you attacking? You built a character
the
that doesn't
demon now,
really
but-
have.
Anything other, yeah. Ugh. Almost got another nat 20. That would have been...
Sorry, you're doing it on the dragon still?
No, the demon.
Demon, okay.
That has been knocked...
The first 2 hit, the third one misses.
Yeah, I figured. And +5 to both of those.
Didn't you Hexblade's curse the dragon?
Yes, that is true.
Like it's a particular target.
Say again?
You
You
hexblade.
Hexblade's curse
yeah.
the dragon, so you don't get the bonus damage against anything
okay.
other than that.
That makes sense.
Okay. I'll make 2 con saves against these points of damage. Both of them. He just can't roll a 1. Yeah, he's fine. You have to do quite a bit of damage to him for him to fail a con save or a concentration check. I'll just tell you that up front. That's your action. Did you want to move or do anything else?
I think Ilya has been staring at Felipe the whole time when he was like trying to be reassuring, and they are going to kind of like almost like, I'm not doing this because you said. After they've cast, they step out where they're very visible. And then they're just standing there. And they're going to move a little bit over here, so whatever hits them won't necessarily hit Felipe.
Okay. So it kind of throws out these eldritch blasts, two of which hit the demon. Okay, yeah, I did take the damage. Sorry, I was just trying to remember if I removed the damage or not. And then you kind of move out to separate yourselves a little bit. The dragon's turn comes back around. No longer incapacitated. The demon, now being grappled by Rudy, turns to him and says, "Do it." The demon will back up, or the dragon will back up. Sorry. To here, you guys can take attacks of opportunity.
Henthir won't.
Okay. Rudy?
No, I'm also. I don't think Rudy's going to either, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't quite get Ilya in this. Dang it. Well, I could. I just couldn't get one of the two of you. No, it's going to hit Rudy with this. And Rudy. So it's going to unleash its breath weapon. I don't know why it's you,
Oh.
on the two of you. I need Rudy also to make me a Constitution
Yep.
saving throw. You both fail, but I mean you're gonna take half damage anyways. So this is a lot of dice. You both take 25. Oh, actually, no. Henthir takes all.
No, I
doesn't he?
take 4.
Rudy, you take 25 points of cold damage. And it's the dragon kind of just you allow it to move back, and as it does so, it backs up, rears back, inhaling before letting out this wave of ice. Shards of it come like shooting out as it washes over you. The dragon I don't know why I have a demon and a dragon in the same fight, because my brain cannot handle it. The demon does not seem to take any damage from this, as the cold just washes over his body. That's going to be the dragon's turn. That then. Actually, it will. So it moves back, does that. It will then move around to here. Yeah, it's got. It kind of backs up, does this, and then maneuvers to be on the other side of Henthir. The demon prince is then going to go. They are currently being grappled. They're going to say, unhand me, before hitting, or at least attempting to hit Rudy with this rod of theirs. Hitting. I need you to make
I will,
me...
wait.
Yes.
I will use Blood Curse of the Eyeless. I'm going to amplify this one. So basically, I roll at him. That's my damage. And now I'm going to roll to see how much it reduces it by.
You need a 6.
Rudy, why is your AC so garbage?
They don't need it, normally.
Yeah.
So that does still hit. What is the other...
Oh, if it's immune to blindness, this doesn't do anything.
Let me check that. It's not. It does get 2 attacks though, so it will. You get this on both, I think, right?
Yep, because I amplified it.
Make the wisdom save first, because he might decide to do something else with his second attack. Okay. Okay, Rudy, you are suddenly as you're like this ruby at the end of the rod connects with you, and you feel magic kind of flow into your body, and you all like are compelled to release him and kind of drop into a bow, one knee going to the ground. You must kneel and bow until the start of your next turn. You can't take any reactions during this time.
Andrew, I lost sound on you for a second.
Yes. Where did you lose sound at?
I bow.
Yes.
And then I had nothing.
Okay. So this lasts until the start of your next turn. You can't take any reactions, or basically do anything until the start of your next turn, and you must kneel and bow before the demon.
And that was 15 damage on that as well?
It was... No, it's a little bit more than that. Actually, it might be reduced. It's 11 points of damage to you.
Okay, cool.
It will then do the same thing on Henthir, since Rudy has been forced to kneel. So it will attack you with the ruby rod. Missing, I believe.
I'm going to roll to see how badly it misses anyway. 16.
Okay, missing pretty badly. Is it like kind of eyes shut as it is just wheeling this around blindly. It has another thing it can do, and even though it doesn't say this, I'm going to say it can't do it because it's blinded, because it just makes sense. So it does not get the last part of its multi-attack.
The Blood Curse of the Eyeless doesn't make it blind. It just can't be used if it is immune to blindness.
Yeah.
It's like it's making its vision worse. I think it specifically doesn't cause blindness, because I think it would be too good. But I thought I would let you know that is the way that thing works.
Sure.
Instead of you just...
I'm gonna say I'm gonna stay with that ruling because I think it's interesting still. It will not get the last part because it's a very sight-focused thing. I'm going to say you're kind of interrupting that. So that's going to be the end of its turn.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
Did that knock me out of my rage? Like, what was that? thing that happened?
No, it wouldn't end your rage because you were just hit on the turn, and it's not. You're not charmed or anything like that. You're just compelled to kneel.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, good question though. Thank you for asking me that.
Compelled to kneel and getting angry about it.
Yeah. Hey, that would piss me off.
Like, Rudy was upset before, now they're pissed. They don't get pissed a lot.
Yeah, I think at the end of the Demon Prince's turn, the dragon's gonna do another tail attack against Henthir.
Really want to know what this dragon's doing.
Oh, terrible. Just completely missing you with that blow. It's then gonna be Felipe's turn.
Okay. I cannot cast spells if I'm like down here, yeah, because I won't be able to see over the lip of the stairs.
You will. It depends on the spell. It's just yeah, you'll be a little bit out of line of sight of the combat if you're all the way down there.
Yeah. Okay. So I will stand my ground, and I am going to screw it.
I will say you also have half cover on when pressed up against the staircase.
Sure, and that's
these
kind
are
of why I'm here.
Quite tall
So
staircases.
So I will stand my ground and screw it. I'm going to try it. I cast banishment on the demon lord.
Okay. It'll be interesting if I fail. No. Okay. It succeeds. He is a charisma spellcaster.
Yeah. I figured it was a long shot, but cool. In that case, I am. Henthir is up next ish. Okay. I am going to move to where Ilya was before, and stand my ground and hope that Henthir gets out of dodge before I pop this off at the end of my turn. But I know you don't know, so.
Henthir also looks pretty bad, like
Yeah.
health-wise.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to do it yet. So that's it.
All right, Henthir, it's your turn.
All right, wisdom save for spirit guardians, right?
Yes. It is DC
Wisdom,
20.
right? Yeah, I'll make it, but don't worry about that. Yeah, okay.
Flip over to
Just
mine.
take some spirit guardians, I guess. That's fine.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
I
You're not gonna-
succeeded the one I prefer.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to roll that twice. Just do the first one. 20 points of necrotic damage.
And then all of these 3 triggers for the start of my turn happen. I don't go into bloodlust. So I think Henthir, now that the demon is off the dragon, also sees that and is like, well, that's probably the right target. So I'm going to make 4 attacks against the demon. None of these have anything fancy beyond that critical.
Yes.
You guys are rolling really hot on these
Yeah.
attack rolls.
That's a 21 hit.
The hits, yeah.
No.
Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna
Wow.
I'm gonna roll damage first before the fourth
Whoa.
attack, just in case.
Bruh.
This is 68 because
Holy
of
shit.
because of the mark.
Jesus. Wow.
That was really bad D8s.
Shit.
So unarmed is doubled. So that. I'm trying to work out if I did that. 3, yes, 68 plus 7 again. Well, that was better.
Oh my god.
How's he looking after that?
So that's all the damage. Let me.
No, I have one more attack. I'm just.
Okay.
I want to
Is
know.
that it? Is that all you're gonna do?
I have a bonus action still to use.
Is that it?
He's definitely bloodied after this, for sure.
With the
other thing.
then I will make my final attack, which but with the third one, with the first one. Why would I do it with the third one? With the first one, as the blood rips out of him, the blood connects to Henthir, and I use Brand of Castigation. And then this is the last attack. Well, yeah, that makes sense. And then I'm going to move away from the dragon and over to near Rudy by like circling around the demon.
Okay. So I'll make the 3 con saves real quick. So first one's 10. Second one's 20. Sorry. 13.
13. And then the last one is
18.
19.
19. Yeah.
So 10. Good.
Henthir's just working into it.
Good. 19. Okay. No, he maintains concentration.
The second that I see Henthir step out of the range, Felipe will just, and that ball of fire is going to detonate where it is.
Go ahead, roll that damage. You've been holding it for 2 turns, I think. Is that right?
Yeah, so that is 14d6.
Go ahead. Yeah.
This is a big turn.
Yeah, you guys are. This is like you're letting everything go right now. I mean, Henthir at least just took a ton of damage. So.
Okay, that could have been better, but it's still pretty good. That's to both of them. They do have to make a dex save, a DC 17 dex save.
This is fire damage, correct?
Yes, it is.
The demon just stands there and the fire washes over him. Unaffected. The dragon, however...
Poor old dragon.
Is mega vulnerable and takes 108 damage.
Yeah, this blast kind of like... I'll even move him. Knocks him back. Throws him. The dragon goes bloodied as like the left half of his body is scorched. The plates are like turned blackened from the soot, and he is not having a good time. They both, at this point in time, are bloodied and very wounded. Okay, that's going to be Henthir's turn, I think, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have anything else, sadly.
Okay.
Oh, and also as I stand next to Rudy, the blood strips from the demon attached to Rudy as well. If either of us get hit.
Okay, at the end of Henthir's turn, after Felipe does his thing, the Demon Prince will spend 3 legendary actions. Again, it is time to cast Mass Healing Word on him and the... Actually, that's probably not worth it. I just remembering.
Willfully doesn't choose the dragon.
I just remembered how little that actually heals.
Nothing.
Not hardly anything.
I use all my legendary actions to gain less than 10 hit points.
They'll instead spend 2. So bring them to 1 to cast Hold Person on Henthir.
I will. I don't know if I can counterspell because it's a legendary action, but I will counterspell if I can.
Yeah, you can always counterspell.
Okay. So
As long as you haven't used a reaction, you are just barely within range.
Yeah, and if because I don't think ending my concentration used a reaction.
No, that's just
okay.
Okay.
Just a 3rd level.
And you just do that because he's only casting it at 2nd level.
Okay.
Because of how the legendary reactions work, the legendary actions work. They more limit his what level he can cast at. So he goes to begin chanting at Henthir as the words are stripped from his mouth. Felipe, who counterspells him.
Henthir looks at Felipe, and all you hear is this like really guttural, loud, throaty purr of like appreciation.
Got you, buddy.
Now, finally, it is Rudy's turn. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh,
Spirit
that's
Guardians.
yeah. Love to see it.
Very good. You take 8 points of necrotic damage as the skulls keep driving around into your body and everything like that. You feel this release or this grip on your movement release, and as you can stand up again, you are no longer grappling with him, but you are free to do your thing.
Rudy like shakes themselves off a little bit. And looks this demon dead in the eyes and goes, I don't know what your deal is, but I know I don't like you, and this is gonna feel real good for me. And I'm gonna smack him with the hand axe once, twice.
Everyone misses.
That's fine. So damage for the first one, and then I will also hit the digging claws here. I think Rudy's really gonna. Well, it didn't hit. Never mind.
As you do this damage, this cut into him. This is probably perhaps the reason you missed the rest of them. He smiled and I'll just rebuke you. I'm going to need you to make a dexterity saving throw. It's fourth level. Rebuke.
With advantage because of danger sense, right?
Yes, with advantage because of danger sense.
I never know with Hellish Rebuke because you're not really seeing the source of damage beyond someone point a finger at you.
It didn't output. It's not
Yeah.
a rolls, though.
What's your
Yeah. That's weird.
I think you fail.
Oh.
Yes. I think this is going to roll right. I'm going to have to roll the extra D. No, it didn't.
Rudy's having a bad.
All right, Andrew. 17 after.
17 points of damage. You take 17 points of fire damage as flames erupt around you.
Is that I don't see those? Is that 17 already halved or?
Yes. So it was
Oh,
it was supposed to be 40-10, but I forgot to hit click fourth level when I did it. Actually, let me make sure I use the right spells. All right. Did you want to move or do anything else?
No, I think.
It takes 10 extra damage from Brand of Castigation, because that's any time it deals damage. So it also took it from Spirit Guardians.
Ooh, I think Rudy's gonna stay firmly planted, but they're not looking as hot as they normally do at this point in a fight.
It's covered in blood, a lion and an armadillo fighting a demon with a pet dragon.
The other two are
It's D&D.
fine. Way in the back.
Love it.
So 20 total is what he should have taken, right?
Yeah, 20 total psychic damage from the brand, hitting Rudy twice.
Okay, yeah. So each time after he's dealing this damage, each time after he's dealing this damage, just like a moment, like a knockback where he's like, from this. Is then going
It's
to be
like
Ilya's turn.
old man guilt. As if an old man has just guilted you into something. So that's what he feels every time that he hits Rudy.
Rudy's so. How dare you?
No, but it's Henthir's brand that's doing it.
All right. So with the way that the express plate of the returned is written, that counts for like beat back the dark counts for cantrips as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And since Eldritch Blast is like one thing that splits out into 3, it counts for all of the hits. Does it?
I'm not sure what you're asking
Well, 'cause
exactly.
Eldritch Blast is basically one ranged spell attack, and
Eldritch
so
Blast is the way it interacts with Eldritch Blast is very specific. It does that thing exactly what it says after it says Eldritch Blast.
okay, but you can't use Beat Back the Dark for an Eldritch Blast because an Eldritch Blast is a spell cast by an evil source, which is a demon.
It specifically interacts with Eldritch Blast in a specific way because it's such a good spell.
Okay. And how are these folks looking?
They're both looking really injured. The dragon, you suspect, has more hit points, but they're at similar levels of damage.
Okay. I'm gonna go for the demon one more time. Let's see, even though I don't have the bonus on them, he's doing more. Seems like a problem. Maybe the dragon just gives up, right? If
Maybe. That's gonna hit.
Dragon was the true demon.
So, are you using the breastplate?
no. I know it disappoints you.
I'm curious.
On my screen, it's literally impossible to see what that rolled.
I think it was a 4. The 22 hits though, so
But you did predict the next one. That's funny. There you go. And I'm stepping away for another second.
okay. I'll make 2 con saves. And he is kind of knocked back twice by these Eldritch blasts. The third one kind of crashing down into the snow. Did you want to do anything else?
I think they stepped away because they had family stuff happening.
Wait just a second, just in case. They have 11 bonus actions.
Yo, I'm back. Sorry. Alright, so I ran my action. Let me see if I want to run my bonusy of anything. I do not. I don't think I have anything to run right now. Yeah, go ahead and carry on.
I feel like I maybe misunderstood your question. Was your question about the damage type or the how it interacted with? Yes,
Yeah.
you can do that part. I thought you were talking about the second bit.
Yeah, no. I specifically wanted to do the first bit.
You can always do the radiant damage instead.
Okay. Yes, then in that case, that was radiant damage.
Okay.
I thought you were saying that because Eldritch Blast is so good, I can't convert it to radiant.
No. You can always do that because technically radiant is a worse damage type than force for the most part. Against him, it interacts the same way. So he takes the same amount of damage. Essentially, nothing changed except for this time the Eldritch Blast. Probably almost every time, because you could just always do it. The Eldritch Blasts are glowing with radiant energy instead of their force damage. I thought your question was about the other portion, so that's my bad. I'm assuming you don't want to tell everybody else what it does, so that's why I'm also trying to be vague.
Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly.
Did you want to move or do anything else?
Sorry. No, I'm fine where I'm at. I'm
Okay.
good.
Frostforged Dragon is going to... here, flapping forward, and it is going to summon up a flurry. I need Ilya and Felipe to make me strength saving throws.
Hold up.
Oh.
Is Felipe in range for me right now?
70. I'll check them.
I'm looking at it right now also.
I think yes. Oh no, 60 feet. You're just a little bit too
Damn.
far.
Damn it! Okay.
Yeah, that was never going to go well. Oof.
Okay, you both take 52 points of cold damage.
Ooh, okay, got it.
Felipe, I'm just gonna put you at the edge of the map. It only knocks you basically to the edge of the Ilya, you are knocked back to here. As this flurry of snow, cold, ice just emanates out from the wings flapping, swirling around, and blasts both of you back. Both of you are looking very wounded at the time for everybody else. That's going to be the Frostforged Dragons. Demon Prince is then going to go, and they they are going to I'm trying to think, because they are up against these two. Turn. Okay, because he is damaged, he is going to use teleport as an action. He can teleport 60
When it
feet.
tries to teleport,
Yes.
I have to go find brand of tethering. If a creature branded by you attempts to teleport or leave their current plane via ability, spell, or portal, they take 4d6 psychic damage and must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failure, the teleport or plane shift fails.
Whoa.
Can you output that?
Yeah, it's the level 13 brand of castigation upgrade.
That is so fucking good.
Love that.
That is wildly good.
Yes. I think it's designed specifically for this kind of big bad trying to leave.
Yeah.
Did I just roll? No, it just decided to put out 6. So it takes the damage no matter what. It's just
It always takes the
20
damage,
on
but if
4d6.
it succeeds, it still gets to teleport.
Yeah. But I did nearly roll max on 4d6.
He does succeed.
That was a
That
3
does-
such a long.
That does hurt him quite badly. He is going to teleport.
Oh, you absolute bastard.
Think so.
He's then going to, no, I'll put this, he will use Swiftcaster, cast heal himself as a bonus action.
I used my reaction already this turn.
I don't think you technically can't see him.
I can't, you're right, because this big staircase. Yeah.
Big thing in the way. It doesn't bring him back above bloodied, but you see him teleport, like holding his head. He's got gash wounds from, various people's damage, claw marks, eldritch blast marks. He's been hit a lot, and he kind of channels this dark ball of energy into his chest, and it begins to knit some of his wounds back as he breathes out heavily. It is then going to be Felipe's turn.
Okay, first things first,
move.
I'm going to use a bonus action as second wind. Cool, not bad. And then this dragon is right in front of me, and it has no other targets at the moment. So, I am just going to look at it and be like, "Stay," and whip out a piece of iron from my component pouch and ram it into the side of the metal of my spear, making like a hideous nails on chalkboard sound. And I will cast Hold Monster on it.
All right. Oh, it fails.
Oh,
You see it like it's like head snaking around as it's like getting ready to lunge forward and just like stops mid-step, eyes kind of like darting around, trying to figure out why it can't move anymore.
cool. I am going to move right here next to it, and I'm going to shout as loud as I can. The dragon is paralyzed. Focus on the big guy. And that is the end of my turn.
Yes, and just so everyone knows, you'll have advantage on basically everything again.
When Felipe said the big
it's
guy,
also-
we
it's-
all inferred the demon,
yeah.
right?
No, I think you understand that the
Sorry,
dragon has
don't worry
stopped
about
moving. Also, if you do a melee attack against him within 5 feet, it's an automatic crit because he's paralyzed.
Yes. Yes.
Seeing this, Demon Prince is going to sweep its eyes around you using a legendary action to use its Chill Gaze feature. I need you to make a DC 18 Constitution saving throw.
That move him into range for my thing. I'm checking now. Because if I am in range, I'm taking that instead. I cannot see my screen.
Yes, you are just barely in range after that.
Okay. Yeah, we're making that switch happen.
Okay.
All right.
So I'm right above Henthir.
Yeah.
You're here now.
Cool.
And I still get to make that con save.
That works for like effects with saves, not just attacks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can do saving throws and attacks.
Cool.
Use your
The difference is I get to make the saving throw as opposed to just taking the attack.
Yeah, the attack roll, if it... I think I have a written... I have to roll first, and it will always hit if it would have hit. But the save you're going to make again. So you're going to take 8 points of cold damage. You also are not fully paralyzed, but your movement is slowed. You can't use reactions. You basically are slowed. But you can't use reactions. Your speed is halved. You can't take more than one attack on your turn. You can also use an action or a bonus action, but not both. And this lasts until the end of his next turn. So this will be throughout your turn. That's going to end Felipe's turn. That's going to be Henthir's turn.
This one,
Well, I much preferred making this roll when
What were you
Rudy
going to say,
was sitting
Rudy?
next to Henthir.
this doesn't knock me out of rage though. Yeah.
No, you're effectively slowed, but it only lasts for, until his...
Oof.
Henthir turns to Rudy, to Felipe, and just lashes out with a claw. But I get the choice with how many attacks to make, and I will make just the one.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
The,
even with shield.
the
Even
risk.
with shield.
Okay.
You take 14.
Okay, you got it.
And Henthir,
Thinking you've been teleported
think-
into safety, you've actually been teleported back into danger.
I think as that happens, Henthir, is it a bonus action to take a potion of healing?
Yes.
Okay, hang on. I just want to double check how that works. All right. Well, Henthir has already started like the lion.
Have you
form is
been remembering
dissipating.
your regeneration, by the way?
Yes, but I have disadvantage no matter what because of the lion form.
I just wanted to, because I had been thinking about it.
I did remember every time except for that one. Henthir like is already forming back the cracking as he's like returning to his hybrid form. And he says, "My apologies. We should fight the demon." And he's like really clearly in pain as he sips a potion of healing, and I will move.
Don't worry about it. It's all good. I'm fine.
Move to here. And take a healing potion.
Claw twice the size of Felipe's face, just like,
I
oh, good.
really wanted to pass that because I had a better turn. Like a good turn for, well,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, I have to make a
Thank you.
concentration check.
On hold person? Yes, you do.
I have advantage.
It's also DC 10. You're fine.
Yeah, we're good.
I can still stun.
215. Need to bump my con up. Con sucks.
Now that he's healed, the Demon Prince is going to use a legendary action to teleport
Guy.
and move over right next to Ilya.
Boy.
But that's all he does. Rudy, it is now your turn. You are slowed by the chill gaze of the demon. So you can do basically one thing.
Okay. Yeah. Once it so is that how much of my do I get?
You can do an action or a bonus action. If you take the attack action, you can only do one attack.
And your
Okay.
speed is halved.
Yes.
Right.
So I still do get movement in addition to the action.
Correct. Yeah, you can still move
Okay.
half your movement speed. And
That's what
I will remind you, if you attack the dragon right now, it will be a critical. You're guaranteed a crit. As long as you
I
hit.
don't attack this dragon because it's not acting under its own influence right now.
That's fair.
Maybe that's Rudy being too soft-hearted. But this is not. Oh no, our peer in me is like really fighting with a strategic person.
You can
in
hit
here
the
right now.
you can hit the demon. You can move
I
that
can
distance.
I can get up to the demon. That is what I'm going to do safely, not having to take that the. I don't have to take the attack of opportunity.
Right.
And yeah, I'll hit him once.
That does hit.
Do I still get the digging claw, or is that technically a bonus?
That is a bonus action.
Okay.
Yeah, you would not get that. Save.
And you get to make a save at the end of your turn. I thought that was the one.
No, it. Let me double check.
I think it said at the end of its next turn. Sorry.
Yeah.
I thought it was
Yeah,
the end.
it just keeps going. But it does end. Like I said, it's only the one round. Um, okay, yeah. At the end of Rudy's turn, sweeping his gaze back towards you, I told you to kneel. And he's gonna try to hit you with a root rod.
No.
There it is.
Whipping completely missing you.
Hits himself in the face and nails.
Love to see it.
As you
Love
dodge
to
out
see
of the
it.
way. I do need you to make a wisdom saving throw because you did move into Spirit Guardian's range. Fail. You take 6 points of necrotic damage. Ilya, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw. Also fail.
So close to that.
You take full 18, I believe, points of necrotic damage.
Looking bad, y'all.
Oh boy.
Is that Jack?
Join the club.
Is the thing where he does damage, is that still up? Where he takes damage
What,
if he
me?
does damage? Yeah.
Yeah, but it to anyone within 5 feet of me.
Okay,
But yes,
got
it's
it.
up literally until
Always.
I dismiss it.
Good.
Even if I'm dead.
I can't
it's
remember
still
how
up.
that worked.
It's
Oh.
weird. I was reading about it recently.
All right. Ilya.
Ilya just like stares at him because he's closed, draws their sword, and is going to take 2 attacks.
They are Hexblade's cursed, yeah, or is that the dragon?
No, that was
No,
a
it's
dragon.
the dragon.
Ah, shit.
So hits.
Let's see, there's one thing that I want to check before I do that. And so that's Eldritch Smote. So that's at the 2nd level, I think. 4th level. So that's a 4th level Warlock
You-
slot.
You only have 4 level.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's like I was checking because of plus.
Plus 48.
Yes.
Nice. Get his ass.
Pretty good.
Fuck him up.
Ooh, those are decent. 48.
Not bad.
Oh,
40
almost
damage.
knocking him back down from what he healed. And you can knock him prone because he's only large. I misread
Okay.
that the first couple times. I was like, huge or
I was
bigger?
gonna-
That doesn't make sense.
I was gonna ask about that, but then I felt like a fool. I was like, because he seems very huge, but that's the
Yeah.
dragon that
He's only a large
Okay.
creature, yeah. Only 4 squares.
So after they've drawn their sword across their chest and then up back again to just slap them in the face, the shield that was just kind of like hanging loosely at their side just comes right up to hit this guy in the chin. And he's trying to shove. Because I have that on there too. So I don't know how that would combine with prone.
Shove.
Because I have shove on Shield Master and I have prone on this, or
Okay.
prone on the weapon.
Let me
So
read the Shieldmaster shove. Because I don't think I've ever had anybody with Shieldmaster.
yeah, like I want to get this person as far back as possible. Is all. I mean, I'm happy with just prone. That works for me too.
So basically, you need to make another. If you can do that, you can shove him as bonus action. I don't think you've used a bonus action yet. You make another
Yeah, and
attack roll, basically, and if you hit, he will be shoved back.
Yeah,
you
'cause I
you have
don't have
advantage because he's prone.
Yeah, I have nothing better to use my bonus action on. I don't think. So I don't think I have any pods. So.
Also, reroll the second one because you technically would have had advantage, assuming you Eldritch Smite on the first attack.
Yes. All right. So.
Because you could crit. You never know.
No, I did not crit.
Roll for the shove. And tell me which direction you want to move him 5 feet in.
Okay. but the smite
Still technical.
knocks him prone, so I'll take that.
Prone is good.
Yeah.
Dragon still can't do anything. He's out of legendary actions. All right. So the dragon gets to make a save at the end of its turn, right?
Let me reread the spell. I believe that's correct. At the end of each of its turns, the target can make another wisdom save. Yes, that's right.
What's your DC? Is it 17?
That is it is exactly 17. Yes.
It forces itself to move at the end of its turn, but doesn't get to do anything yet.
I'm going to cast Silvery Barbs as a reaction to impose disadvantage.
All right.
See if it gets lower than 9.
Not bad. Unfortunately not. Who do you want to give the advantage to?
I will give the advantage to Henthir.
Right. And don't forget your next thing. I think it's ability check or attack roll. That's advantage.
Still not sure where that rolls. Okay.
Yep.
Sure.
So that's all the dragon gets to do. Demon Prince's turn. Looking at Ilya, who's just like attacked it, he's going to use half his movement to stand.
Also, just as a
Yes.
reminder, I had forgotten about this first half of the fight. He has disadvantage because I'm within 5 feet of him right now on any attacks.
Good to know. Thank you for reminding me. Probably a couple times that would attack, but staring down at Ilya. I know your face, traitor. Who meets the dark goddess, the afterlife. He is going to summon. He kind of draws his hands in, lightning crackling in them as he does so. He's going to cast Chain Lightning.
I am gonna stab the fuck out of him with Mage Slayer.
Okay, go ahead and make that roll. That does hit. Roll your damage.
And is shockingly good with a longsword.
Not enough to bring it down, unfortunately. So, must be within 30 feet. So Rudy, Henthir, and Ilya all need to make dexterity saving throws.
Is he gonna make his con save?
Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
He is. Good to go. Does Mage Slayer, he has to make one for Mage Slayer? Is that what it is?
Well, because I damaged him too, but yes.
He also has disadvantage. Okay.
Yeah.
So I just don't. Does Mage Slayer, is it against the spell he's casting, or is it just whatever he's concentrating on?
I think it's whatever he's concentrating on.
I'll roll with disadvantage. Because it is with disadvantage. Okay, Henthir, you save. Rudy, you fail. Ilya, I need you to save as well. I know it's going to down you no matter what, but it could make differences later on.
Alright.
Actually, Henthir, I think he would have had advantage with Silvery Barbs. Not that it
I would have.
Yeah.
I'll roll it again
Oh well.
for no reason. No.
Dex save.
Oh, sorry.
We can use the 17. What's your Dex save modifier?
+1, so it's an 18 instead of a 19.
Well, I'll give you the option to reroll if you want.
But I have my Shield Master, so I can add to it with my Shield's AC bonus, which is 2, I think.
That would be enough. So you do save. The three of you take 52 points of lightning damage. So Henthir, well, for all of you, that's half. Even Rudy, even though they failed because barbarians. You all take 26 points of lightning damage.
As Ilya drops, they're just baring their teeth at the demon, almost in a rictus of a grin.
It takes 10. But daring to damage me.
Looking real wounded at that then.
Also, I know that we can't go back, but it should have done every time it teleports. It doesn't have to be teleporting from away from me. So if it teleports again, it does take the damage no matter where it is.
There's no range component to that. It just always happens.
I'm pretty sure it's just any time a creature teleports. But I didn't think of it at the time, and we can't go back or whatever. Yeah,
Right.
and a branded creature can't take the dash action, and if creature brands, it's just if it attempts to teleport or leave the current plane.
It only did one other time, I think. So roll another 46.
Sure. I didn't want to go back, but I have
That's
so
fine.
much.
We'll just say
nonsense
we'll
stuff to
assume that he saved because it's pretty likely he would anyways. But the damage, I think, is important.
Sure.
Okay. He is looking 1 or 2 attacks away from death at this point. He is traitor. He looks down at Ilya's now body. Then going to be Felipe's turn.
Yeah, Felipe's gonna backpedal in between these two little bits of cover, and seeing Ilya go down from that strike. Not that anybody's really paying attention, but for the first time, his composure sort of breaks, and a grimace comes over his face, and he just mutters, "See how you like it." And he shoves 3 metal pins in his mouth, generates some friction on his spear with a piece of fur, and he's going to slam the short half of the spear into the snow and cast Chain Lightning on both the demon and the dragon.
Okay.
Dueling chain lightnings.
Yeah.
I didn't have a ton of decks, so
Oh, well.
go ahead and roll damage. Oh, that fails.
That
The
poor dragon.
dragon, whose life has been very bad up to this point, continues to be bad.
Yeah,
That's pretty
continues.
good on damage, too.
Okay, the dragon takes the full amount. The demon both dodges the brunt of it and doesn't seem to be quite as affected by the lightning damage. So it's reduced twice for him. Okay, he's still up.
And as a bonus action, I'm going to chug a potion of superior healing.
Okay, that heals you
Amazing.
a lot,
Yeah.
bringing you back from not looking so good. You are now the healthiest member of the party somehow, I think.
Yes, I think so.
Perhaps for the first time ever since we've been playing.
I believe that's correct, but that's all I got. And I'm just going to stare at the demon prince and stare at Ilya's collapse form and just kind of stand there.
I think he would do this. Let me make a roll. There's a better thing he could do, but there's a petty thing he could do as well.
I will reiterate that when Ilya went down, they were in fact grinning at the demon.
He's going to do the slightly smarter thing and turn his chill gaze over towards Henthir, using his legendary action to do so. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. He's the 18. Ooh, just enough. Okay, you succeed.
And
So you don't take
Bloodhunter's a good
anything.
save.
You just resist it completely. And it is then your turn.
Henthir returns a look of just pure, that sunrise over plains where the lions live look, as he just stalks forward. I'll take the damage. Well, I'll make a wisdom save. And I'll heal 4. Yeah, so I take Spirit Guardian's damage.
18, necrotic.
And he takes 10.
Even though he's not like doing a thing for it, it's just
Anytime it takes damage, I'll click Brand of Castigation. It's at any time he takes damage. Someone takes damage. The branded creature deals damage to you or a creature you can see within 5 feet of you.
It's pretty good. It's like anti-Spirit Guardians.
Yeah, we found the way to deal with Spirit Guardians.
Yes, we did.
A bunch of Bloodhunters.
Then I'm gonna swing at this guy. Twice for my normal attacks. 19.
That does hit.
Oh, so he takes 20. Then
Hold on. After the first hit, you and the demon prince slumps to the ground, conscious.
okay. I'm gonna bonus action heal while I think of what to do with the rest of my attack action.
Okay.
With a healing potion.
Like the downing potion.
Both were 9. With my reaction, I'm gonna amplify Curse of the Fallen Blood Puppet, and I'm just gonna fuck that dragon up with the Demon Lord.
Output Curse of the Fallen Blood Puppet for me. Okay, this still goes off. He will do that, moving and swinging.
With +5.
One weapon attack. Yeah, he'll use the. It'd be funny if it unfortunately misses. It would have been funny if it forced the dragon to kneel.
That is funny. That was what I was hoping. Alright. So I think Henthir doesn't know what this dragon is about. Like, it's a creature that has obviously been like treated very badly. But I think that he just is going to use his other attack to slam down a paw into the demon again.
Okay.
Because, like,
Yeah.
just in case, right? Blood puppets worked, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Also, that's my last blood curse. Oh, does this have advantage because it's prone?
Yes. Technically an automatic critical. He's
Okay.
unconscious.
Oh, if it's an automatic critical, then I've rolled
But
all
you,
of this
you
bull-
still have to hit, but yeah.
Sure.
And the second attack misses, actually.
The second attack misses with the...
The 18 is not a hit.
But it has advantage because it's prone, right? And I rolled it incorrectly.
Okay, I see what you mean. Yes.
Yeah. So the second roll was a 15. I just
The
accidentally...
31, if you want to keep that 31, that hits as well. We could do the 31.
Sure. Yeah. I only have one more attack, so the 31. Yeah, that's fine. And then that's crit damage. 25 more. Seems like that guy deserves it. And then I assume Spirit Guardians is down.
Yes, Spirit Guidance is down.
I'm going to step back over to Ilya, preparing to give Ilya a potion.
Rudy, it's your turn.
Rudy's also gonna head over to Ilya again. I really don't
I'm
want
going to get annihilated by this dragon.
And can I go ahead and do a medicine check to stabilize Ilya?
Yes, but be aware, because of the way 5e works, if you medicine check stabilize, they can't come up during the fight. even if you put a healing potion into them.
Okay.
Which is weird, I know, but that is how the rules are written.
Okay. Then never mind. Retcon. So the dragon is paralyzed right now?
No, the dragon has broken free. It just hasn't gotten the chance to do anything.
Does it look like it's chilled that it's like chilled out now that Princess like?
It seems like it's a good question. Let me set the scene. So, the demon prince went down and then like walked over and attacked it, and then like slumped down. It seems like it's like it can't hold its head, but I guess it could actually. It, like claws go up and it's kind of like shaking its head around. It seems like it's just like in confusion and pain at the moment, but it doesn't seem like it's gone off aggro. It seems like it's still like it's lashing out and will probably continue to lash out. If that makes sense.
Rudy, I really want to attack this dragon. Could Rudy try to get a hand on like the muzzle to like calm it down?
You can make an animal handling check.
Correct.
It does have like reins as well. Although they've probably been heavily burned by the delayed fireball. Okay. With a 26, you rest a hand on the thrashing muzzle of this dragon. It seems to slow and still for a moment, and it seems to be calm at this point in time. Ilya, I need you to roll me a death saving throw.
Indeed.
Just get a 20.
I thought it was going to be under my death saving
roll a
throw
20.
or my saves pop out because my character sheet disappeared, but it is not. Let me force that up.
Yeah, you can either just roll 20 or
I'm just going to roll a
if
flat
you click
D20
the
so I can
skull,
force.
it is that should roll for you as well on your character icon.
No, I found it under utility. There we go.
Fail.
That is a no.
Right. The Frostforged dragon seems stilled in this moment, like Rudy, also a creature of rage, is attempting to master this dragon in a sense and calm and soothe it. On the Demon Prince's turn, you all see a bones shift back into place. They come back up. Unfortunately, you did not do enough damage to permo kill it once it went down, at least this time around. It kind of rises up from the heap as Rudy's kind of with the dragon, Henthir's kind of on Ilya, so the only person who kind of immediately sees the movement of the fallen corpse is Felipe off in the distance. He's still very wounded. It's not like he's like fully knitted back together, but he sneers and is going to fly metaphorically, not literally, although he could, at Henthir. Rudy, if you would like to, you can get an attack of opportunity on him.
I shall most certainly do that. Oh.
That is a hit. Go ahead and roll damage. Good.
Good roll.
You think for a moment that your axe is going to sever the link between whatever is keeping this creature alive in this moment, but you just don't do quite enough damage as it continues to move forward. Looming over Henthir and Ilya, the Demon Prince is going to swing down with his Rudy rod at Ilya. Henthir, sorry. Hitting once.
That hits.
You make me that wisdom saving throw before he decides.
Sure, it takes 10 damage.
You fail. You are forced to kneel. Seeing you kneel, he's going to use his second attack against Ilya. Ilya.
Can I do anything to try and interpose myself? But because I'm kneeling, I can't, right?
I would say if you hadn't failed and I had chosen to attack Ilya anyways, yes. You are forced to kneel and watch as Ilya's body is slammed. Whatever remaining life and they're battling for to stay alive in this moment is pushed out of you.
Wait. One thing does he still have to make the attack roll even though she's unconscious and prone?
Not about a crit, isn't it?
Let me double check that. That's a good question.
Because I did have to make the attack roll against.
I think that is right, and I think I did mess that up just right now.
Because if he does, I'm going to cast Silvery, even though it's a prayer that it will work, because it has never worked. But
look, Ilya, the good news
yeah,
is
it
that
does
you
have to
also,
hit. Thank you for reminding me of that.
Your body is
I
also
think-
affected by Brand of Castigation. So
that is
so
true.
it does miss.
I think it gets advantage. I don't know.
yeah, if Ilya's prone, so like it should have the rules.
It
for
should have advantage. That's right.
being-
So, but Silver Bob's works that it's after the fact that he would roll again. So it wouldn't cancel out the advantage. Okay, let me roll that again. So
Ooh.
he does hit, and now do Silvery Barbs.
You got it.
So 10 plus 19. That is barely a miss. Thanks to the Silvery Barbs. Thank you for reminding me about that. Because I was all in the moment and wanted to do the cool
No
thing.
problem. I just want to keep Ilya alive.
It glances off the armor. The blow doesn't quite connect. And maybe to Felipe in the moment, it seems like it does, with Henthir and everything in the way. But Henthir, you see that Ilya is still alive. The blow did not pierce through their breastplate, which just barely managed to keep them going in this moment. Okay. Since you did that, he is going to turn his chill gaze over towards. Actually, let me check. Barely in range. Over towards Felipe.
Yep.
You can't choose yourself for Silvery Barbs, right?
I can, but I already.
Reacted.
Go ahead and make a con.
No,
check.
I mean the advantage part.
Oh, can I? That's a great question.
I think you can.
Choose a different.
A different
You can
creature.
choose yourself.
Yeah. So you could give it to yourself.
I'll give it to myself. Sure. I mean, this is a con save. Yeah.
Yes. Probably where you need it.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Not
yeah.
gonna happen.
You only take 13 points of cold damage. However, you are effectively slowed, except for the AC portions.
So I only take half that because I have to bring one. So that's 7.
Correct. So 6 points of damage.
Sweet.
Felipe, it's then your turn. You can see the demon's hanging on by the thread. Rudy has cowed and calmed the dragon, even with the presence of the demon back. For the time being, Rudy, you think if you leave the dragon, especially with the demon up, it could turn back into being hostile very easily. But it is Felipe's turn. What are you going to do?
Cool. I am going to cast Far Step on myself and just teleport right next to this demon. And brandishing the spear, I'm going to make two strikes, and I'll make the first one a booming blade cantrip attack.
Right. Go ahead. That hits. You down him with that blow. He did not have that much. Well, roll the damage just in case, but I'm pretty sure your bonus is.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, he is down from this, and once again, the body lies there.
Okay.
You can make me an Arcana check if you like seeing his dead body now. Everybody can as well. Okay. That's good, because the DC was 25, so Felipe just failed. Henthir, in the back of your mind, though you hadn't remembered much about this creature initially, you think and think and think, and a something, perhaps divine guidance of some kind, enters into your mind, and you see the demon prince and the head being severed, and you know that's what you need to do, or otherwise completely destroy the physical body for him to completely be killed at this moment.
I think Henthir barks to everybody, sever the head. And they kind of looks down at the claws that he has that are not really good for that.
I do have one more attack with the spear.
So to sever the head, I will say I'm not going to make you make an attack roll. It will instead be an athletics check.
Oh, well, I'm going to try anyway. Sounds good. Yeah, I will just flip the spear around in my hand and try to jam down as hard as I can, slamming in a piston.
Right.
No way.
Not quite. You do stab down into the throat, and it kind of fountains up this dark, like it's gone beyond crimson. It's like reddish black blood that's pouring out. It's now flicking down over the ice around you, but you've not quite severed the head. Henthir, you know that the head is not being severed. Ilya, so Henthir, you're torn. You can sever the head, or you can throw a potion at Ilya. There's a full action.
An athletics check to.
It would be an athletics check. That's correct, to sever the head.
I'm not good at them, but maybe Ilya is stronger than Henthir is. So I guess Henthir will like lean down and cradling Ilya, feed a healing potion to Ilya with my action.
Go ahead and roll the 2d4. Ilya, you feel...
Wait.
Yes.
I have to make a bloodlust thing, because I might just have to attack.
That would be hilarious.
Oh, no. Oh,
yeah, I just have to attack it.
Okay.
So I can't do anything beyond...
Is it random who you attack?
I think it's the closest thing, but I'm staring right at it, right?
Okay, yeah. I'll say
and look at it. Okay. I'm just going to make 3 attacks. I'll make them towards the neck.
Sure.
And who knows? Maybe
I'll let you make
crazy damage.
I'll let you make an athletics check instead of doing these 3 attacks.
All right, let me just read how this thing works before I do that. And do that. I have to pick before, and then what do I get for?
I will say it is possible for you to do enough damage to permakill him. It would be a lot of damage, though.
Yeah. Because of my predatory strikes from hybrid transformation, can I use dexterity instead of athletics, instead of strength? I think that's probably insane, but
I'm gonna say no on this one.
Yeah, sorry, I'm looking at like 3 different things.
That's okay.
I'm here. This one. Yeah. All right. As I go to do it, as like Henthir basically in Bloodlust just tries to rip through the entire like neck of this creature, the armor of magical strength that Ilya gave infused the night before flares up to give me advantage on this.
All right.
Wow, unbelievable.
And like most of what Ilya does, makes no discernible effect on the gameplay.
You grab and rip and pull, but the thick neck isn't quite giving. As you do this, you have a bonus action, so you could drink a health potion. Although you don't have enough time to feed one to Ilya.
I mean, I will, because
Okay.
it's like...
Rudy,
me blood.
you look at the axe that you have and look at the demon and know that probably you are the only person amongst the party who will be able to cleanly sever the head in this round.
What happens if I leave this dragon now that it's down?
I will, if you're leaving it, I'm going to have you make another animal handling check to determine how it reacts to you leaving and not actively like holding and somewhat in some ways containing its own manufactured rage.
It's all down to Rudy.
Okay. I'm gonna.
All down to Rudy.
I'll make this animal handling check, and then I will. Oh God, this is
Okay.
okay. And I, while I still have its like head in my hand, or while Rudy does, Rudy will like touch its face and give it like a little like forehead bump and go, "I'm so sorry about what you have been through," and then we'll walk.
I kind of want to give you advantage. For the endearing. Go ahead and roll with advantage. Okay. 19. We'll see what happens.
And then an athletics check here.
Yes, you do have advantage because you're raging,
Oh,
which you need. Is there any other bonuses you got? That's not quite enough.
I don't know if I have any other bonus actions that I can do. I have an axe.
If you're... Yes, that's a good point. You're using your axe, which is suited for this. So you can use all 3 of your attacks to do this.
Well, I get 2 attacks, and then I can dig in claws a third
Correct.
one. Still.
Yeah. So you get an extra one, basically. There you go. Okay. You do get advantage, so in case you roll a critical.
Oh my God.
You were rolling so good a minute ago. A 30, however, is still enough. You all see Rudy lift up this giant icy axe, which had been taken from a creature under this demon's command, lift it high, and slice it down. The axe dives into the ice, like cracking it even, sending small slivers around you. Again, it's full ice all the way down, so it's not like the ice is going to break or anything. But the head has been severed. You kind of throw it away. As you do so, you see the body begin to like wither as though all liquid is being quickly drained from it. This sort of hyper dehydrative process that happens within the span of 3 or 4 seconds. It's only the head retains its kind of the same visage as it had beforehand of health, but the eyes are dead and the light from them burned out. You have successfully killed the demon prince. Ilya, I need you to make that saving throw.
God.
And this is the point at which I roll a natural 1, and
Your journey mirrors Anya's journey perfectly, and you do die.
Oh God, we don't have a cleric with the river fights.
That's a success. Okay, I am going to roll a wisdom save for the Frostforged Dragon. You didn't roll well enough for it to self-contain, but you rolled well enough that it will get its own check. It moves. And it's going to make a full round of attacks against. One bite, two claw. This is the first time it did this somehow in this combat, is make just normal attacks.
Is it attacking both of us or just Rudy?
It's just attacking Rudy. Only the first one hits. It maybe is trying to hold itself back. You take damage though. 33 halved is 16. Yeah, 16 points of damage as the bite wraps around you, and some tears come down off the dragon's eyes. And Felipe's turn. Felipe, you can see that this dragon is fighting with itself, but it is actively harming Rudy.
Okay. I take this all in a heartbeat, and I just like grab Rudy's very large calves, because that's about what height I'm at. I'm just like, you can do this. This is all you. And I'm not going to take the disengage action. I'll take an attack of opportunity. I'm going to sprint over to Ilya as fast as I can.
A claw swipes at you, dealing.
Reaction shield. I block it.
Okay. It bounces against the shield. You get up to Ilya.
And I am going to dump a potion of greater healing down their throat.
Right. Ilya, finally, you have come back with 11 hit points.
Horrible.
No longer dying.
Ilya takes a large gasp, like shoving themselves up a little bit enough to see that the demon is like basically dead on, almost on top of Henthir. Turns their head left to see Henthir is still breathing, and then just closes their eyes. I'm assuming they can still hear the dragon, but so they're
You
just
can't
like,
still hear the dragon, but you are kind of taking a moment, having a bit of relief. This happened. It's not your turn, anyways.
Yeah, that's why I kept it short.
Henthir, you can see the exchange that's happening with Rudy and this dragon. What are you doing?
I think Henthir, I will bonus action drink a potion. Well, hang on. Hold on. Make a wisdom save, because I might have to punch Ilya in the face, I guess.
That would be hilarious. Just immediately knock them out. No, you're
Oh,
good.
it's fine. This is only DC 8, by the way. It's not a hard check.
Yeah, you're just been rolling bad.
I drink a healing potion.
I'm kind of disappointed that you didn't have to just clock her straight out.
And then I didn't know you could pick up your dice again. That's weird. I want to move over to where Rudy is, and I want to using the like kinship between Henthir's like animal side and Rudy's rage and the dragon. I just kind of want to help Rudy with what they're doing, and be a calming presence, despite the fact that I'm covered in blood and breathing heavily and my bones hurt.
You do the help action, Rudy. Rudy, I'm gonna picture it's got your arm like in its jaws at the moment as you're trying to soothe this. I'm assuming you're gonna attempt to try to soothe it. You're always welcome to attack.
No, I've come this far. So I guess make
Make an animal handling check. You have advantage because Henthir is helping you, spending his full action to help you.
Okay.
His what animalistic elements he has. 25. You hold fast, not grimacing at the pain as you stroke the nose of this creature, maybe even seeing a spot where you tear up some of the metal that's been encased around it and throw it off as the dragon slowly starts to sit and rest its head down at your feet, wings collapsing.
And then as a bonus action, I come out of my rage.
The battle.
I think as Ilya probably hears that dragon stop and like flips their head slightly over to Felipe to look at them now, blinking. Just like,
Yep. Good job. Holds out his fist just for a fist bump.
Ilya like very like weakly holds their fist like almost nervously, like feeling like a single fist bump even from Felipe at this time would be pretty painful, and then says, "So much for redemption," as they drag themselves up.
You get to die your glorious death. Sorry, Lieutenant Dan.
Hey, staying alive, that's redemption. Gives you another chance to try again.
Ilya glares at him, but it does not quite have the same fervor that it normally does.
We should go check on the lion guy. He took a few hits this time.
All of you, Felipe's not that bad, all things considered, but the rest of you are all quite wounded. Perhaps the wounded you've ever seen each other in a protracted fight like this one. You all can see across this courtyard now that you're kind of getting a good look at it. Massive in size, looping around this glacial fissure. Some snow sweeps and swirls off in the distance. The dragon looms beneath you, but still seems silent. Over with Rudy, the Frostforged dragon seems to have been calmed and lulls into a sleep.
I think as you're saying, we should go check on Henthir. Henthir's like trying to like walk a fair distance away to not traumatize the three of you, but just like evacuates this like huge amount of blood that's just bubbling with like thunderous sound energy through it, and like drops to his knees and is just like trying to avoid getting it on his clothes because cleaning blood in the snow sounds like the worst experience that anyone could possibly have.
Yeah. And the battlefield is littered with blood. It stains the ground. Snow marked red and rust colored brown.
And I think from a scene that nobody else can see because Henthir's back to that he reaches up and like touches where that cold tooth that he'd made was, and it like shatters and you can see like a new fang starting to grow through as like his will to live has decided that now is not like the end of his road. And he like stands up, dusts himself off, and then passes out.
Lumping into the snow.
I will like run immediately over just to make sure that he's still breathing.
Yeah, he's not even that badly hurt. I mean, he is, but he's like just exhausted. I used literally everything that fight, so
I think that very like caretaker in a hospital setting style, Felipe can't heal, but he just goes over Henthir and uses prestidigitation to clean all the blood off of you, off of your clothes, off of your face, like sort of taking a damp magical towel to everybody, to every part of it, and just being like, "Hey, you might as well at least look presentable when you wake up, old man. Sleep tight." And then he walks away.
You all kind of spend a little bit of time here resting, recuperating. The dragon does stir at times, but Rudy, you seem to have fully kind of calmed it. And you spend some time, you notice it like start to scratch at the metal, and you spend some time helping it tear these plates off. Though somewhat bloody work, you know that the dragon wants these things off. The nails bite and cause it pain every second that they're still on it. And you strip them along with it until there's nothing but the scales and some exposed flesh from where pieces have been ripped up, and the metal has rubbed against it so often. The dragon shakes itself kind of free for the first time in who knows how long. It looks at you, and you can see there is intelligence there. It is like somewhat of an intelligent creature, but it is perhaps more animalistic, especially in its current state, than most animals, or than most dragons. Excuse me. But it seems content for the time being just to rest here with all of you. I don't want to cut anybody off. Does anybody want to do anything before I wrap this up?
I think on the journey back, if that's fine.
Sure.
On the journey back, Henthir recovers the bangle of lion fangs that he gave to the elder, and you all watch him pop off the fang that's newest and like less aged and is clearly his. And he pulls out from somewhere in his cloak this really ornate elven longsword, and it's got a little bangle on the back. And he puts the fang on it, and it's like the third fang. And he says, "There's one for each time I thought I wouldn't make the journey." And then he hands the longsword to Ilya. And I know Charlie's not here, but he gives that longsword to Ilya.
Good. I think then you all kind of leave this fight feeling, though very wounded, reinvigorated about the task at hand. You have succeeded, though you know that there is still one dragon up there, still looming, that the demons are after. Perhaps the most powerful of the five. As you trudge back to the Gathite village and then journey home. We're going to end there for tonight. Thank you all. Thank you for playing. Thanks everybody who was watching. That was a lot of fun. I feel like I broke Kristen.
Yes. Not having a healer is like so intense.
It's
and-
brutal.
It made it feel the stakes were so much higher. It was,
Well, yeah, because if Ilya like did 3 death saves, normally level 14 that's not that big a deal, but like there's nobody around to do resurrection. You need like to find somebody to full resurrect them at that point.
I nearly took Gentle Repose as like my one elven cantrip, and I was like, no, I don't need that. I'll spare the dying. I think I don't remember which one it is, but
Yeah.
It was really good.
it was a really good fight.
Yeah. All right. I think with that, I'm gonna sign us off. Thanks everybody once again. Excited to do the last of these whenever we get to it. Hopefully, some or maybe all of the players who can join us for that. We will see you all next time.
Adios.